4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Smith, it's a high fly ball to deep left field. It's got a chance. It is gone. It's Will Smith in Game 7. And in the 11th of Game 7. The Dodgers lead for the first time.
And there you have it, your World Series champion. Thank you to Fox for that call with Joe Davis and John Smoltz. It was a hell of a way to end a season. We'll get to all the football. We got so much NFL, so much college. But, Pearl, I mean, when something like this happens on a Friday night and a Saturday night, Game 6, Game 7 of the World Series, you got to just pay attention, right? You've got to give it its proper due because it was an epic Game 7. I feel for the Toronto fans. They had plenty of chances. And for the Dodgers, in the moment, it felt like the wrong team won. But then you got to tip your cap to Yoshinobu Yamamoto for what he did. He was just an absolute monster, winning 3 games in this series, including pitching on back-to-back days. It just, like, I want to kill the Dodgers for this somehow. I want to denigrate this. I want to say you bought your title. I want to throw all the inflammatory stuff at the Dodgers. And at the end of the day, though, I just come away with, wow, just beyond impressed that they were not hitting. They had to take it to the wire of extra innings, and they still found a way to get it done. Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. All that's true about the Dodgers. To me, the headline was the heartbreak for the Blue Jays because it took them 30 years to get here.
Yeah.
We would have busted that drought that we were talking about.
I know. I had all the merch on back order.
And let's be totally honest. It might take them 30 years to get back because that's where baseball is today. Anyone who thinks there's a rhyme or reason did not watch this World Series. There's no rhyme or reason. And this is the same team that won 74 games last year. We have no idea if they'll be back. There's no talent. They're not like the Dodgers where they can throw out 4 Cy Young winners. So the Blue Jays had their opportunity. They absolutely blew it on the base pass. There's no doubt about it. I could see it in Game 5 even. I'm like, they are not tight on the base pass. And I don't know. I'm not blaming the manager, but you got to have a team meeting and say every single play on the base pass is important. Then IKF doesn't take a big enough lead, and he can't score in the bottom of the ninth. And so many little things that cost him that entire series, and it's just really heartbreaking. I feel bad losing Game 6 and 7 at home. You're right, and you could argue the wrong team won because the home team lost the last 2 games. The Dodgers are incredible, but it is just completely heartbreaking. You know that Why World of Sports promo, like the agony of defeat?
Yeah.
This was the agony of defeat times 10.
Yeah, and I feel like, I know heartbreaking losses, right? I feel like I'm kind of an expert on this kind of thing. I understand it.
Yeah.
This
Why,
is
an experience?
Yeah, a little bit. Like my whole life as being a Bills fan, and you can add a little Mets into that if you'd like to also. But this is what is such a bummer here for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's not that you can't think about, are we ever going to get back? No. You can't do it that way.
But it's
No. What I'm looking at is that some of the most impactful plays outside of Yamamoto, who makes $300+ million, who they brought over from Japan, who they'd never seen throw a pitch in the major leagues and gave him $300 million because Ohtani deferred all that money and they got him there. And it'd be so easy to be like, you bought this one. But who came up with some of the biggest plays in Game 6 and Game 7? Miguel Rojas? Are you kidding? Miguel Rojas, who hits a game-tying home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, solo home run, hadn't hit a home run since September 19th. Doesn't hit off of right-handed pitchers, Pearl. Will Smith, who caught the equivalent of 8 games in a 7-game series because of the 18-inning game. The solo home run off of Shane Bieber, a guy who's going to make a ton of money. It's just crazy to me that of all the people it could have come down to, again, Yamamoto obviously deserves all the credit in the world for what he did. It was an unbelievable outing. But it was actually the lesser-known guys. Andy Pages, who had just gotten inserted into the game in the outfield to make that kind of catch. Yeah, it was the big Dodgers. The Dodgers have a lot of stars, and you saw a lot of them in this Game 7. Obviously, Shohei started the game, but was not so effective. You saw Glasnow, and you saw Snell, and Yamamoto came in. And Mookie Betts had, obviously, the game started the game-ending double play, the series-ending double play. And you had all those high-priced big guys contribute. But really, when it came down to it, Miguel Rojas, Will Smith, Andy Pages. I mean, these are the guys who end up really being the heroes of the World Series outside of Yamamoto, and they are not the high-priced guys.
Well, yeah, but the only reason they were available to be those stars is because the Blue Jays handed the series away. I mean, and the ball got caught in the bottom of the fence. But that's besides the point.
Game 6.
Yeah, but the series would have been over, possibly. At least they would have tied the game. So here's the thing. What happened to the take on last Thursday that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player of all time?
I still think he can be the greatest player of all time.
Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. Did you just hear what she said? He can be?
He still is. Fine. You want me to be super definitive about it? He still is the greatest player of all time. Because you want to know why? He did not put the Dodgers in a position where they lost that Game 7. Okay. Now, is it weird that Yamamoto ended up getting more outs than him? A little bit. But that's what happens in a Game 7. No. I'm not going to kill Ohtani for this one. Listen, even John Paxson and Steve Kerr made a couple shots in some of those NBA finals. You can still say that Jordan is the greatest ever. Okay?
Steve Kerr, the Warriors coach?
Yeah, look him up.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around how you view this Dodgers team. Are they a gutty, little, spicy utility player team? Are they a superstar-laden team? Like, what is this?
They're both.
Are they a dynasty?
Absolutely.
Are they a dynasty like the Yankees were a dynasty at the end of the 90s?
Okay, so here's the deal. You had back-to-back champs now. The Dodgers are back-to-back champs for the first time since the Yankees did it in 99, 2000. But the Yankees were in the midst of 3 in a row and 4 and 5.
And how many games did they lose in that World Series run?
Oh, I don't know. Do you have it in front of you?
Well, no. I know they lost 1 in the last 3. I don't know. The early one went closer to distance. But they won 4. But the 3 in a row, they just destroyed the Padres and everybody. Okay. I looked it up earlier this morning. But so anyway, and Jordan never went to a Game 7. Does a team like the Dodgers, who win with utility players in a Game 7 when the other team gets caught on the bases at least 23 times in the series, is that dynasty stuff?
Yes. Now, where you lose me is with 2020. I can't get behind the pandemic World Series. That was a 60-game season. Any like self-respecting baseball fan, in my opinion, knows that 60 games is not at all indicative of what someone does in a World Series. You're not playing in front of crowds. That whole thing, I'm not giving them that one. But as far as the back-to-back, and no Shohei for that.
No, so that was before. It kind of feels like a different team.
Pre-Shohei. But the other part, though, is I think in order to have a dynasty, you have back-to-back has to be an element of the dynasty. So are we in the midst of one? Yes. I mean, do they need probably another one in the next 2 seasons to really cement it? But those early 2000s Yankees, we were operating under very different baseball back then. They didn't have nearly the types of rules in place to try and even out some of the competition.
Like a salary cap kind of thing.
But they don't. I mean, and they still don't, because look at the Dodgers.
Late 90s, and you could argue those Yankees were homegrown too. So, but
4-4.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's why they're a modern dynasty. You're right, a cap dynasty. But I honestly think the Dodgers could just as easily win or lose next year. Like a dynasty, like Michael Jordan, when they get out on the diamond or the field, they're going to win and beat everybody. The Dodgers are right there in the mix. They're right in the mix with the Blue Jays and anybody else who comes along.
Well, you can say the same thing about the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are definitely a dynasty, but they haven't won every single time they've been in the Super Bowl.
Right. And are they definitely
They've also won some really close calls too.
Are they a dynasty like the Steelers were a dynasty? Not exactly. I think we have to. I think we're desperate to crown someone a dynasty, and maybe this Dodgers going back to back feels like an attempt to do that. But it is not a dynastic sport right now. The playoffs are too long. So many different things can happen. It's going to be really hard. I think the Dodgers are thrilled that they won that one because they realize, man, we're going to have to fight really hard to get back here. And that's not exactly how dynasties think, but they do have Shohei, so. That is a possibility.
It's just kind of an odd season for the Dodgers overall, if we're really keeping it a buck, as they say. They never really, it was not like last year where it felt like they were so super dominant. They went through waves of not being able to hit, and their pitching was really what was the most consistent thing. Their starting pitching. And then they get to this World Series and they kind of, outside of like one blip really against your Phillies, right? They really kind of cruised through the postseason and then found themselves in this real dogfight with the Toronto Blue Jays. This is what I'm saying about it. I want to destroy the Dodgers today. I want to, because I don't like what they did with Ohtani in terms of deferring the money. And they did that, and they got Yamamoto, and then look at what happened. They're putting him on the mound back-to-back, Game 6, Game 7, after he did a complete game in Game 2, which hadn't been done in forever. So to me, I want to kill them. I want to crush them. I want to say, you bought this, and it's cheap, and it means absolutely nothing. But then I'm looking at the game, and I'm watching the guys who came through for the Dodgers when they needed it the most, and it's guys like Miguel Rojas, and it's guys like Andy Paez, and it's guys like Will Smith. What do you do with that? You say they won a World Series because they bought Miguel Rojas? Give me a break. Guy's not even a starter. So as much as I want to crush him, I want to.
How
It
much they
feels
spent on
unfair.
Yamamoto?
$325 million.
Okay,
It's
then
insane.
they did buy World
But
Series.
you know what? He earned it. Can anyone earn $325 million?
No, he definitely earned it. But
He earned it.
But I think to dismiss the Dodgers' money playing a factor in the World Series when the World Series MVP was a guy they spent $300 million on, and a guy that pitched after pitching 6 innings the day before, feels like you're almost giving them too much credit for just this being just like rally guys who came together and
Gritty bunch.
ragtag guys who came together when we know what time it is.
No, it's not. This is not the movie Major League.
Right.
Yeah. No, I understand it. But were you not also impressed with Yamamoto? See, that's the thing. It's like sometimes with these bloated guys, the bloated contracts, it's when they don't do stuff. Like this is a dude who pitched 6 innings and then was like, I'm getting treatment and I'm coming back for Game 7. Like, I have to respect it no matter how much he's making. And then ultimately, when you're looking at the heroes from Game 7, it's unlikely, right? That Miguel Rojas is going to run into one to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th inning when he hasn't homered since mid-September.
Yeah, but Will Smith
He's
is a
hit 2
star.
home runs since the All-Star game.
Right, but Will Smith is a star. He's one of the best catchers in Major League Baseball.
Highly paid, too.
Yeah, Yamamoto.
Not
is
compared
a
to these
super-
guys.
No, but I mean, he's one of the best players on their team, no question. Like he's not a scrub at all. Like Rojas, yes, that's your Aaron Bleeping Boone. That's your random guy who hits a home run, Bucky Dent. Like, but that happens in baseball. I think you can understand that. But I do think some of these other guys, Yamamoto, Shohei, Mookie Betts, like those guys also have big factors in Game 7, and they make a lot of money. And I think when you think of the Dodgers and the fact that they were able to get Yamamoto because they deferred $700 million to Shohei Ohtani, I can't feel good about what they've done. I think can I respect it on the level that they simply won a title? Sure. But can I respect the idea that, they're not playing at another set of rules than everybody else? No, I can't respect that.
Mookie Betts with a slump-busting swing.
I know.
All right, Will Smith.
Would have been perfect for the merch, but it's just wrong team won for Maggie Gray, 2025 year of the Drought Buster.
Smith is the 4th highest paid catcher in baseball. For a catcher, he is highly, highly paid.
Okay, listen, you want to tell me you thought that Will Smith was going to be the 11th inning hero? Not Freddie Freeman, Mookie, Shohei.
But at how much? Because we don't see catchers getting paid $35 million.
Well, he
just got a 10-year, $140 million deal.
But he's a 3-time All-Star. He's
everyone
made 3
knew
straight
Will.
All-Star game. Again, I'm
not saying he's
Mike
scrub,
Piazza,
guys.
but
I'm just saying, were you not expecting Freeman, Betts?
Yeah.
Even Kike Hernandez, who had an awesome, started double play to end Game 6.
No, everybody expected Will Smith to make a play. Like they moved him up in the lineup. Like Will Smith is no joke. That's a guy who's clutch. I think everyone did. That's not a surprise. But he's Miguel Rojas, I'll give you. But Will Smith, no, of course, everyone thought he was going to do something.
Got to be careful with Will Smith, especially when you keep his name and his wife's name in your mouth.
Your mouth. Yeah.
But this was all about the pitching. I mean,
that's all right, Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
This is.
Lives in L.A.
But all right, one more thing. You have to admit, starting Shohei was probably a bad move. I think I was like, come on, dude. Like he was out there. You shouldn't have even started him the game before. Like guy was on base 9 times. You don't think his legs are going to wear down, and then you don't think he was lucky to get out of that game with only letting 3 runs in 3 innings because it wasn't there. And by the way, your Savage's pitches weren't there either. Like bringing these starters in off the bench in a deciding game, I get it. But I don't know. I could tell almost immediately that Trey Savage is like, oh, that is not the same person that we saw a couple nights ago.
Nobody got himself out of a jam, and then I didn't understand why they went back to him. That I thought that he had done his job if they just needed him for an inning. As far as Ohtani is concerned, listen, I mean, you give up a 3-run home run to Bichette, right? But
that ball's still going, I think.
But here's the situation, right? He was also in the top of the first on base. And at third, and no one could drive him in. You're wondering, why didn't he score a run in this game? Well, I mean, he was right there. So
no. I actually
he could have made a bigger impact, is what I'm saying.
He's get 50-something home runs. Where are the home runs?
Well, they intentionally walked him at one point, but where are the home runs? He didn't. What do you want me to say?
No, I just think that
this was not a game that actually was about Shohei Ohtani.
I think his legs must have gone to some extent. I mean, I think that 18-inning game had a huge impact on the rest of the series. So, and maybe more on the Dodgers than the Blue Jays, because the Blue Jays actually seem to rebound better. The whole thing is crazy. I mean, they lost game 6 and 7 in Toronto. They had every opportunity. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks. It sucks for Toronto fans. I have a good buddy who's in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to talk to him.
No,
I
I'm sure
don't
he
know.
doesn't want to talk to you either.
I was going to say it's just sports, but this one feels like it's not just sports. Like this has got to cut harder.
Okay, couple poll questions then. Was this World Series more about the Dodgers or the Blue Jays? Was it more about Dodgers pulling out a win or the Blue Jays heartbreak, as Perloff said? Did the right team win? Another poll question. And I think last year when the Dodgers beat the Yankees so decidedly.
Never happened.
I don't think you might have said, oh, they bought a World Series, but look who they were up against. Like the team that invented that, So you really could say like, hey, listen, you beat them at their own game. And it's not like the Blue Jays have a small payroll, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, that was like if you get a fly ball into the outfield against Manny's Yankees, like it's going to be a circus out there.
Oh, yeah, they can't play defense.
That one was like, that one to me was the story. Like 2 payrolls, but one smartly didn't ignore fielding altogether. But
damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you got live cuts from last year. It's crazy.
There's just something that feels a little different about this one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, even though Toronto is not like a small market and they spend a lot of money, including on this team. They have a payroll north of $200 million, guys. This is not the poor.
They nearly spent a lot of money on Shohei Ohtani. They had him on a plane going to Toronto.
Yeah.
And yet it does feel different. It did feel like a David Goliath type of thing.
Definitely, even though the Blue Jays had more wins, yeah.
And the Blue Jays don't probably deserve that title. It was just guys who are coming through who are not the household names. The Ernie Clements,
sure.
And
Alejandro
Kirk. Oof, your guy.
They did put Max Scherzer on the mound.
Yeah, who pitched really well. 41 years old.
I got to give Dave Roberts some credit. He really masterminded that whole last inning.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I hear you. But generally,
walking bars to go to Kirk so that Kirk could hit into a ground ball who's slow as crap. And it was just, I'm sorry, Manny. I know that's your guy, but it worked like a T. Like everything worked perfectly.
Well, that could be the second poll. Did the Dodgers win because of Dave Roberts or in spite of Dave Roberts? And I know how LA will vote on that one.
I thought that inning he did well.
Yeah, I hear you. I totally. You. But I definitely saw a lot of on social media. Oh man, Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts gets criticized heavily, more than any other manager, because he's in these high-profile situations again and again and again. The guy is he's a human being who just lends himself to postseason drama as a player and a manager. I don't know if the world agrees with you. I know you it's a good point, but I feel like Dave Roberts kind of kept the Blue Jays in the series maybe.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We get it going with the World Series. Did the right team win? Does this one feel even more like the one that the Dodgers paid for? I think that's what the naysayers will say. I don't know. I want to crush them. I really do. Just can't. I can't when I see Miguel Rojas coming through and Andy Pages coming through.
But that was fun.
It was super fun. It was jaw-dropping. It really was.
I had a hell of a time watching that as an IBO, independent baseball observer.
I mean, one of the greatest World Series ever. Pillar to post. 18 innings. Got a guy going a complete game, which we haven't seen in such a long time.
Game-tying home run, top of the ninth.
How about game
home run.
6? Game 6 was bananas, too.
All of it was fun. Baseball was good.
It was good. 888-710-4ISN. Other poll questions, baseball back?
I have 3 poll questions out now.
Well, we have 60 poll
questions.
Hey,
it's almost
by the end of the
election
day.
day. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's try to get everybody in the spirit.
That's
feel
true.
like Quinnipiac. Just me.
Okay. You guys want to talk about the World Series? Let's get it going. We also had a lot of fun yesterday in the NFL with some crazy games. College football was chaos as usual. We've got it all for you on this Monday. It's the Maggie Perloff Show. Give us a call, 888-710-4ISN.
All right, now we don't have baseball, but we still have so much action on Prize Picks, Maggie. We could go hoops. We could obviously go football. We go college football. I was riding on baseball all weekend long, and I did pretty well. My man Vlad went over his fantasy score. So that's how Prize Picks works. You project more or less on the stats for a player, and if you're right, you can win big, and you get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's awesome, and it's a great way to keep the party going, even with baseball out of the picture.
Did you realize that the Dallas Cowboys are playing tonight? Dallas Cowboys Monday Night Football against the Cardinals. So how about a little CeeDee Lamb Receiving yards, 83.5. I'm going to go less than. And, of course, when you have CeeDee Lamb, who do you naturally pair him with? Well, Lauri Markkanen, of course. Utah, 27.5 points. Match made in heaven on Prize Picks. I'm going to go less than on Markkanen as well. So, ride along with us. It's a lot of fun. If you want to know if Prize Picks is available in your state, probably is, because it's available in 40 or more states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Prize Picks has become our obsession. It can be yours too. Just download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. You get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5, win or lose. You'll get the $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff honoring your Los Angeles Dodgers. You know, it's funny. I'll be totally honest. I'm not sure non-Dodgers fans were happy about this outcome because it was a David versus Goliath. And it's nothing against the Dodgers. Like, they've become the evil empire in a couple ways. One, they spend so much, but just they're the best team, obviously. I think they're way more likable than the 90s Yankees. Or even the 2000s Yankees, because I still love Mookie. I still love Shohei. I kind of like Will Smith. I like all these guys. So
that's just for you personally.
But no, I think
likable.
like Mookie's clearly probably the most likable person in all four professional sports. If you ever heard
bats with a slump-busting swing.
You ever heard anything negative about that human being? And he likes to bowl. He's really cool. And then the rest of the guys are totally like there's not like your Kevin Browns or your Roger Clemens or like your guys who come off like jerks. None of them do. My wife, for example, Sarah, doesn't follow baseball. She's like, I really like this Dodgers team.
I don't know. There's some guys on the team that I don't particularly like.
Like who?
Well, I think Blake Snell can be a little something. But here's the thing. You're asking me like, dislike. Who cares? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dismiss your argument here. I just, at that moment, I'm like, they are the villains because of they put themselves in the situation. Mookie Betts can bowl 300 games. That doesn't change it to me, right? Like, to me, it's more about not who they are as individual people, forgive me. It's just about who they are as a collective. And that's why I really wanted to crush them for winning the World Series. But then you look a little bit closer into guys who had huge impacts in Game 6 and Game 7. And outside of Yamamoto, who gets paid like an ace at $300+ million, there's a lot of unsung hero guys. Let's go to the phones. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Big Friendly is in California. We'll give you the first word here. Friendly, good morning.
It's going to be another sunny day and a parade in L.A. We love it. Now, Manueli, I called to talk to you this morning because these Mets fans are getting out of control.
Oh, hold on. I just stuffed my face with some almond joy.
Man, he's eating some kid's Halloween candy.
The Dodgers and Yankees have more World Series combined than the Mets have had All-Stars on their roster. The only grace the Mets fans have is spring training. The better team won because the Toronto Blue Jays had a 3-2 lead going back home and choked on the bones and the wingless chicken they ordered. Maggie Malone. 2 years ago, I'm off mouth surgery and I'm 100% healthy and I got a lot of ish to talk.
Okay.
Maggie Malone, Your Highness, 2 years ago when I called and you said if the Dodgers don't win at least 2 World Series, is this all for nothing?
Yeah.
They're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Have they proved that they can win even when the big guns are firing blanks?
Well, I think you actually just kind of said it to begin with, Friendly. I think that the Blue Jays helped them out a little bit, clearly. So, yeah, I mean, if they're dominant, Friendly, listen, they are. To the winner goes the spoils. But to Perloff said earlier, like, if you are this dominant, dominant, leave no doubt team, you win this in 5. You never go down in the series. And listen, it sounds like I'm trying to poke holes. I'm not. I'm trying to give the flowers where they belong and not more than that. Does that make sense?
Maggie.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But real quick, let's talk statistics. The Toronto Blue Jays were one of the best teams in baseball. Statistically, pitching, record. They have the fifth highest paid roster. Yep. Why are we acting like the Toronto Blue Jays are out here with holes in their gloves and mismatching cleats and no money?
Yeah, but Friendly, why do you care? See, this is the Dodger fans getting sensitive. You won.
No, Magsy.
Yeah.
I'm a little offended because all weekend I've been hearing, the better team lost. The better team lost. Now, forgive me
better
for
team,
being
wrong
a fan.
Team. Yeah.
Okay, wrong team, better team, whatever. But at the end of the day, Daddy Cool, tell me if I'm lying. At the end of the day, everybody laces up their cleats, goes on that field, and plays for 9 innings. Unfortunately, the Dodgers, being champions, know how to win. Daddy Cool, your wife is now known as the coolest wife ever. You tell her the Dodgers are the team. You guys have a great day.
Friendly, you're the best. Thanks for doing it. But here's the thing, Pearl, don't you feel it? This is the one thing I'll give the Yankee fan credit for.
Hi.
You guys bought titles in the early 2000s.
You're darn tootin'.
And you didn't care what anyone thought about
You're
it.
damn right.
I feel like the Dodgers, Pearl, the Dodger fans, they want to act like this is all like, listen, you didn't break any rules. You didn't do anything wrong. People can have an opinion about Shohei deferring all that money, but you got the win. Now you just got to be comfortable in the win, and people are going to criticize it because of how the team was built.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You can't buy a team anymore. So I don't even think people are realistically, back when the Yankees did it, and actually it's funny, once they started paying up, they started losing World Series. But back when the Yankees did it, they were they were singular. The Dodgers are really like, basically now, even you can't buy, if the Mets tried to buy it, they didn't even make the playoffs. Like you can't, they paid Juan Soto $700 million or whatever. There's basically no buying a World Series anymore because there's so much parity in the sport. There's such an evening out of talent that like the idea that you can outpay everybody is very difficult. That's why the Dodgers needed 7 games and 11 innings to beat the Blue Jays.
Right, but isn't it weird to make the argument you can't buy a World Series when the Dodgers won the last 2 World Series?
I guess so, but like it still feels like, yeah. I mean, does anybody really? Are you super confident they can win a 3rd in a row? No, it's going to be a crapshoot once again. Because,
but you said that last year, and they won again.
Yeah, it did barely.
But see, okay, JT's in Atlanta. Good morning, JT. What's up?
What's going on, you guys? Thanks for taking my call. I'm just gonna say, haters gonna hate, and I'm with you, Maggie. I don't give a damn about nothing that anybody has to say because guess what? All these teams are owned by multi-billionaires. So you know what? The money's there. If you got a problem, be mad at your owner for not caring as much as you do about your team. My team invests in our players, and to like your point, Maggie, TK was the double play in game 6. You know, you got Miggy. There's we have glue guys too that make a difference consistently. Even Max Muncy's home run to bring it within 1. Nobody's talking about that, but that was a huge home run. You know, and he's not a big bought guy, right? So these other players have to you can't just win with just stars all the time. You have to have somebody, like you said, your Steve Kerrs or your Paxson. Somebody's going to have to, your BJ Armstrong, somebody's going to have to come up and do something else as well. And we have that. Now, my real point that I called in before I got to listening to all the hate. First off, Perloff, Dynasty, of course. We've been there since 17. You know, we were in 17 and 18, and if they weren't cheating with iPhones and iPads and Apple Watches, who knows where we're at, right? Like, let's be clear. And I don't even care about 20, right? Because you're right, Maggie, that no one thinks 20 was anything.
Yeah, 60-game season, you can't count it.
Yeah, if you go back to 17, how many times have we been in the World Series, right? More than any other team, right? So you talking about, is it a dynasty? Of course it's a dynasty. I mean, we win the division every single year. And we're not going anywhere. But my point is this, right? Everybody's considering, I feel like they got outplayed. Let me just be clear. For the majority of the series, the Toronto Blue Jays were better.
Yeah.
They had more hits. They did all that. But in the crucial moments, they were not. So what would you rather be? Would you rather be good for the majority of a series, but not when it really matters? Or would you rather struggle like Muncy did, like Betts did, but come up with crucial plays when it matters to win games and win a World Series?
Yeah, JT, it's good points. I think that's what you're getting to when you say, did the right team win? Because the Blue Jays were better for most of the series. And then all of a sudden you get into extra innings, whether it's, game 3, which went to 18 innings, or then game 7, which went to 11. And that's where the Dodgers separated themselves.
I mean, Max Muncy's pretty good, by the way. That's your journeyman. I know, like, maybe he's not peaking right now, but I think he's been to all-star games. Like, it's not – even these journeymen are kind of high-end. And Kiki Hernandez, even coming into the series, the one guy you feared was Kiki Hernandez.
He always makes winning plays.
Yeah. Oh, he's just so clutch.
Then he basically got knocked out by his own teammate on an all-time catch.
Even these journeymen are pretty high-end for the Dodgers. It's not like they're coming out of nowhere.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got headlines. We see you guys on the phones. We want to talk plenty of World Series with you and some football as well. Good morning, Bogue.
Guys, good morning. Your headline sponsored by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. Use code PRIMETIME.
And let's not forget Shallow.
And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. It is probably fair to wonder why Jaden Daniels was still playing with his Commanders down 38-7 to the Seahawks in the fourth quarter of Sunday Night Football.
Second and goal at the 3. Daniels gets the snap, play action. He's in trouble. Dips away from Boye Mafe, in trouble again, and spun down by the linebacker Drake Thomas back at the 5. And now Daniels is down. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they knew right away on Commanders radio. Daniels put his left arm down as he was spun to the turf. His elbow buckled. It is reportedly a dislocation with an MRI coming today. This obviously could be season-ending. And again, it happened with his team already locked into its fourth consecutive loss, a 38-14 final with Seahawks QB Sam Darnold tossing 4 touchdowns.
I will say, too, like just thinking about Jaden as well right now, that last play that he had didn't look too good. So, just thinking about him and what he's going through right now.
His Seahawks keeping pace with the Rams atop the NFC West. LA a 34-10 beating of the Saints yesterday afternoon. Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Devontae Adams. The Niners also have 6 wins out west, but 1 extra loss at the moment. They dropped the Giants in Jersey yesterday, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey, 173 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. Auburn fired Hugh Freeze yesterday, the day after a 10-3 loss to Kentucky. Freeze just 15-19 in 2+ seasons. I believe it was 1-12 against ranked opponents. And
sorry to interrupt you here, but do you know what we're up to now as far as money being paid to college football coaches who have been fired? The total.
So he's roughly $15 million.
Yeah.
And I saw yesterday that he has actually no offset, so he gets that whether or not he works again.
Sweet.
Great agent.
So I think that puts us now at a 185.
You're right. 185, led by...
Well, I did a sportsman on this last week, so that number's in my head.
Okay. Yeah, so 185, led by Brian Kelly, of course, with the $53 million. Then James Franklin, just about 50. Billy Napier, then Hugh Freeze. Tied really with Mike Gundy. Remember when he got fired?
Yeah, and I think it's only 12 fires, 12 firings, 12 coaches totaling $180 million in buyouts.
How do I convince an FBS school to make me their head coach? They can fire me and give me a big buyout.
Obviously your video gaming skills.
Yeah.
Put that on resume.
True.
I don't know.
The way I rebuilt Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. I said that last week too. I'm like, God, why didn't we all become college football coaches and stink? It would have made so much money.
We could go around yelling at kids and being hypocrites. And oh man, that would have been awesome.
I know. The only thing about being a college football coach, is you either make 2 cents or you make $50 million.
Yeah.
It feels like there's very little in between. I'm sure there is like a middle class.
You mean the head coaches? I mean, even their low class is probably $800,000 a year.
No, like the top assistants even make like $1 million or whatever.
That's a brutal business.
You basically have to eat tuna fish out of the can for 3 meals a day for 15 years.
Sleeping on disgusting couches and
putting together like playground sets for the coaches' kids and all that horrible crap.
Parking cars at Brian Kelly's party
in the snow, like Robert Saleh, Matt LaFleur, but they got the last laugh, I guess.
Good news for Pearl this morning. Victor Wembanyama is finally a bust. Just 9 points, 9 rebounds, 6 turnovers in the Spurs' first loss of the season, 131-18 in Phoenix.
The fact that we didn't make a lot of open shots, which happens to every team in history, that made them even more confident in their defense and in what they were doing.
That guy just sounds like a giant.
Yeah. This is top of the beanstalk right there.
The Suns offense didn't miss much. They opened 14 of 20 from three. They led by as many as 31 before, again, a 130-118 win. And what a finish for Manny and his fellow gearheads. NASCAR's season finale went to their version of overtime because of a late caution. Everybody went to pit lane. Kyle Larson got back out quicker than Denny Hamlin and finished three spots ahead of him to claim his second season title. Still 0 for Hamlin.
Can you believe that? Denny Hamlin's been racing for decades, it feels like, and he still doesn't have a championship.
And was basically guaranteed to win yesterday until a dude blew a tire and crashed.
Wow.
NASCAR, baby.
That's a guy who started out video gaming. That's how he got discovered as a driver. EJ, just keep that in mind.
Ooh, it's hope for me.
But are we ready to have the Mac Jones?
I don't think Manny believes that.
That's not true.
It's not, right? Yeah.
No, Denny Hamlin, that's how he started.
Are you sure?
Pretty
Denny
sure.
Hamlin, who started racing in like 2003, who's like 40 years old.
He got discovered by somebody on a simulator. I'm almost sure.
There was a movie about a race car driver getting...
That's F1 though, right?
Or just that type of race. That wasn't a NASCAR thing.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the big... I think he's done more than just
NASCAR though.
Yeah, but he might have been racing, but he was discovered on a simulator as well. I could be totally wrong, but I double checked.
You said it really confidently. Like
yeah,
he was
because I
definitely
remember
right.
Denny Hamlin used to come into the DP show a lot, talk North Carolina hoops, and I remember him telling this story.
Really?
That Junior or somebody watched him on a simulator, and he was amazing.
I don't know. Being discovered on a simulator seems like something for like a 20-year-old nowadays, and Denny Hamlin is, about 20 years.
No, he's been racing cars since he was 7.
Yeah,
in Virginia.
He definitely does simulator stuff, though. So I'm trying to figure out.
Well, they all do. They practice on it.
This quick Google search I'm trying to do here.
But can we?
Pretty sure during the pandemic they were all on simulators trying to pass by the time.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Mac Jones versus Sam Darnold for MVP conversation? Are we ready? Are we there? I mean, definitely.
How dare you disrespect Drake May?
I'm just saying.
After one bad game.
It's going to be this.
Not loyal.
The system quarterback left for dead MVP race. Because Dan Jones, like the three of them should form a little fraternity. Like you thought we sucked, and now we're amazing.
Well, Dan Jones might have to sit in the foyer for a little bit.
Wait a week. Yeah.
That was not good yesterday. The Colts falling hard against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got so much football to get to. The Packers lost an improbable game. What's going on in Green Bay? And, of course, we got the big game from yesterday with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills. So much to get to. The World Series, though, takes center stage. Did the right team win? 888-710-4ISN. Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
As a high school reporter. Before that, I was an intern at 3 different locations. I lived off the tuna fish and Kool-Aid. I worked in Archdale, North Carolina. I started off as a high school writer. I went to college. I went covering colleges. And then from there, I was a backup NBA writer before being an NBA beat writer, before being an NBA columnist, before becoming a general sports columnist, one of only 21 African Americans in American history at the time to be in that position. I climbed from the gut.
That was the Stephen A. Smith journey. We were talking about college football coaches. Basically, you either get paid 2 cents or you get paid $50 million. It feels like there's nothing in between because we have $185 million worth of buyouts already for college football coaches who have just been fired this season, Pearl, and they've all been fired like within the last couple weeks outside of Mike Gundy and some other dudes. But like, it's crazy. And it's one of those boom or bust franchises because we're all asking, how do we become fired college football coaches where you get paid to do jack squat?
What about Shallow?
888-710-4ISN. Meanwhile, World Series was epic. Game 7, Dodgers win it back-to-back. Ramon is in Indianapolis. Ramon, what do you want to say about the World Series? Did the right team win?
You know, good morning, everybody, and thanks for taking my call. It was painful at first, but not so much painful to say I think the right team won. You know what I focus on? First of all, that ball getting trapped underneath the mats in Game 6, that turned the tide right there on Toronto. I think that was a lost play. And then getting doubled up. A-Rod went off on that, getting doubled up. As an old college baseball player, you got to watch that ball fall. So getting doubled up in Game 6 there in the game, that was heartbreaking. But the defense of the Dodgers, you know, I'm old school, and I remember the Sean Dunston days in Chicago and Ryan Sandberg. Like I said, I talked about Mike Schmidt never missing a ball. We know what Bill Buckner happened when he let a ball get past. You know, defense wins. And flagging those balls the way the Dodgers did, especially that center fielder out there, that was phenomenal defense. And it makes a purist like me just admire it.
And down to the literal like big toe of Will Smith in Game 7 with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa Pearl breaking for home.
And the defense.
Miguel Rojas somehow gathers himself as he is sort of completely, thrown off his balance and somehow gathers himself, fires home. And that could have just ended the World Series. Now, I don't know how I would have reacted if the World Series ended on a overturned play at the plate.
Right.
But, man, that would have been something.
I thought Toronto should have called a squeeze play there. That would have been perfect squeeze. See, they don't think old school ball.
They actually bunted. They bunted in this series. Ramon, they did bunt.
No one expected it.
They did bunt in this series. It was killing me every time I screamed at it. Don't bunt.
Well, sack bunt to get Vlad Guerrero in scoring position. I mean, unbelievable stuff. And that's because Bo Bichette was out of the game because he had to get pinch run for because his knee's so bad.
Well, they had sack bunted.
What about Buffalo? They won. They beat Kansas City again in the regular season. What does that mean for us? What does that mean for Buffalo? I mean, they do this all the time in the regular season. What does it really mean? Come on, you got to explain that later. I can't wait to hear you.
Ramon, I got thoughts.
What does that really mean?
I got thoughts. And Perloff and I, thank you, Ramon. Perloff and I completely disagreeing about what happened yesterday in Buffalo, about what it means, about why the Chiefs lost. Got a lot of stuff there. First, George in L.A. George, congrats to your Dodgers. What a banner weekend for L.A. sports.
Yeah, Maggie and Perloff, good morning. I didn't expect them to win, to be honest with you. I didn't think they could go to Toronto and win 2 games in a row, but these guys got some stamina to them. Will Smith, Max Muncy, and Rojas. I mean, all 3 hitting home runs late in the game win the World Series. Very impressive. Andy Pages, the center fielder, that great catch over Kiki Hernandez's head or whatever. He fell down or whatever. That was weird, man. I'm just glad he caught the ball. But it's been quite a weekend. I'm very happy because between Dodgers and the Rams and Texas Tech's been a nice weekend. I don't mean,
yeah.
Make
George,
a big show,
we're going to conveniently leave. Thank you, George. Congrats to your Dodgers and the Rams. Got a big win yesterday. I mean, you're playing the Saints at home, but we'll leave UCLA out of this. They did have a 3-0 lead at one point against Indiana, Pearl.
We're in LA.
And
UCLA had their moment this year. Remember when we were all into the Neuheisel kid?
Jerry.
No,
they lost 56-6. The USC won.
It was funny how now when they lose, they show the coach and not Jerry Neuheisel. I find that interesting.
It's us and USC.
Mm-hmm.
All the graphics are like, hey, you said they lost again. I'm like, wait, what happened to Jerry Neuheisel?
Nowhere to be found. That blonde hair, not going to see that again until they win.
USC probably doesn't win if Raiola doesn't get hurt.
Terrible.
That was a dicey game. I don't think USC's great. But USC, by the way, there are a lot of teams who have a resume who are going to be in the playoff where USC is their best win. It's a crazy season. But college football, good luck figuring that one out. I mean, there is not, except for maybe Ohio State, I don't know if there's one great team. Anybody could lose to anybody on a given week. Well,
I mean, Indiana would show you they're a great team. A&M, I mean,
Indiana beat Oregon, who we don't know if they're a great team either. Other than that, it's amazing. They play Maryland 8 weeks in a row.
Well, they played UCLA this week and won 56-6. So, probably 3 teams only getting in from the Big Ten, I would think. Obviously, with Penn State as is completely out, and so you have Ohio State. I don't think.
What makes you say that?
You have Indiana and then probably Oregon.
Definitely Oregon. I mean, unless they trip up. Do they have any real games left on
their
their
schedule? They're going to Iowa this week. Anyone can lose 16-13 in Iowa. We've seen that far too many times. Now, college football was nuts. I think one of the big headliners was all the chaos in the ACC with EJ's Miami Hurricanes falling.
That didn't happen.
What's that?
That didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm sure you wish it didn't. Somehow when the calendar turns to November, all of a sudden Miami Hurricanes can't play football and Mario Cristobal can't coach it.
Yeah, my life sucks.
Arch Manning had a big week. That big win over Vanderbilt.
Nothing for me, Maggie, but thanks.
I'm just going over some of the headlines.
Okay.
Yeah. We get back to the
Arch
NFL. We have more World Series takes for you. And who was yesterday more about? Was it about Buffalo or was it about Kansas City? Bills come away narrowly with a win as a Hail Mary from Patrick Mahomes falls short. It's Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
2 y nada, 2 outs. El envío. Will Smith conecta batazo elevado al jardín izquierdo. Vuela la pelota. Vuela la pelota. Vuela la pelota. ¡Adiós! Will Smith. Will Smith da mucho más que cachetadas. Pega jonrones. Clutch, su segundo de la postemporada. Y los Dodgers arriba 5-4.
Thank you to Fox Deportes. And you want to translate that, Manny Guapo?
Yeah. So the play-by-play guy by the name of Adrian Garcia Marquez basically said this Will Smith does more than just slap people in the face. He hits home runs in Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, right.
Amazing call there
Wanna
from
bet?
Fox.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah, cachetazos
That's what he
slaps
said.
in the face.
Oh, my God. I thought you were making that up.
No, I am so serious.
It'd be unethical if Manny just made that up. No, that he's our translator on the show, and that was something. The Dodgers win the World Series. Unbelievable. Really, a World Series for the ages, Pearl, no matter what side of this you are on. But I'm just getting a sense from some of the poll questions we put up on X that people are not that into this Dodgers team winning in the way they did. Because we're asking you, was the World Series more about the Blue Jays' heartbreak of the Dodgers completing the back-to-back? And Blue Jays' heartbreak is blowing this poll out of the water. The poll question, did the right team win the World Series? A little bit more narrow, but the majority of fans saying no, the right team did not win the World Series. And I think that was a common sentiment because the Blue Jays had, technically, they played better. Their stats are better. Their everything was better in this World Series. But in these clutch moments, in the 18-inning game in Game 3, obviously Game 6 when everything's on the line, elimination, and then Game 7, it was the Dodgers who came up with the winning plays.
Honestly, I don't think people are talking about the Blue Jays on the base pass enough. I mean, how many mistakes were there? I mean, I know 6 guys got thrown out in the 18-inning game, but the double play at the end of the 6-inning game, Game 6, like that's inexcusable. Some of the things that happened last night, how many times did they either almost get picked off? There was one double play that was reversed on a line drive. Like, get your head in the game on the base pass. I really didn't understand that. World Series, because they were great and disciplined in every other aspect of the game. But their first base coach and third base coach or whoever is telling these guys what to do, that blew the series to me. That was the one thing that cost the Blue Jays.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people are talking about that, bro. I'll be
Well,
honest.
I think it was the all-time record for getting caught off base. And obviously people are killing IKF for not having a lead on that play. Like, what on earth? What was he? Where was he paying attention to the game? I don't even know what he was doing.
So I've seen a little bit of that. So we're talking about bottom of the ninth. You got first and second with one out. Yamamoto's in. Then he hits Alejandro Kirk. Okay. So now you got bases full. You've got the chopped infield play to Rojas. IKF did not get a big enough lead off of third. Will Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers, is at home plate. Rojas has to gather himself, throws home, and the cleat came off of home plate for like a millisecond, but Will Smith got it back on to home plate. It would have ended the series if IKF had slid in cleanly and if Will Smith's foot had been off the bag even slightly, but obviously he was called out at home. Replay review does not overturn the call. Now, I've seen a little bit of IKF was actually doing the right thing down third base because you don't want to be further down than where the third baseman is standing because you also don't want to have a situation where you are going to get picked off at third and be the final out at third. So, I don't know. I've seen a little bit of both. You're right. It was not super clean for the Toronto Blue Jays, but they came up with some amazing defensive plays in their own right. The Dodgers just came up with a few more. And
how about the best? To me, the symbol of the series was David Schneider got thrown out at home plate by at least 10 feet. Like, what was that? Explain that one away. Like, he should not have gone. I don't know. I guess I'm a little. It's not what I was rooting. I like the Dodgers too. But to see the Blue Jays lose that and know that they're not going to be back for 30 years, I'm sorry.
Aww.
That's just the way this sport is. That was their. It just feels like in modern baseball, you have one shot if you don't take advantage of it. And trust me, I think, for example, I'm a Phillies fan. Like, they blew their shot. Like, they've had multiple chances in the last 5 years, and they just don't come enough where you can lose it. You basically, like, you have to be so on your game. And credit to the Dodgers when it counted, especially in Game 7. Like, they refused to lose.
I think Yamamoto obviously is the World Series MVP. He comes in relief after pitching 6+ innings in Game 6, comes into this game, goes 2 2/3, gets more outs in this game than Shohei Ohtani did, who started the game. And Yamamoto was just unbelievable. And he was a guy who's getting paid more than $300 million. Like, you know,
yeah, he's going to win the Cy Young. He's nasty.
think about this. He made 30 starts this year in the regular season. Then you're here as far as you can possibly go in the postseason. Game 7, he won 3 different games in Game 7. I mean, something that hadn't been done since, Randy Johnson, right? Christy Mathewson. It's this crazy, crazy stuff that happened in this game and happened in this series. And I just think people are down on the Dodgers, Pro, because you can say that baseball postseason is a crapshoot, but it does feel like the Dodgers are here all the time. Whether they actually win it, okay, I'll give you that. The teams are competitive when you get to the playoffs, but they are here consistently.
Well, yeah, but for years they were the face of postseason disappointment, the singular face in the sport of postseason.
Well, the Yankees.
No, I think the 2015 through 2020 Dodgers were a major issue. Like the year they won 108 or something, and that was like the storyline with the Dodgers. So to say that they're here consistently, for them, they have one measurement, and that's winning the World Series. Anything short of that is a total failure, right?
Well, I think people look at 2017 a little differently after the Astros scandal.
Okay.
Maybe shouldn't have lost that one.
Okay.
And I think, listen, I'm not really giving them a lot of credit for 2020, a 60-game season. We were in a pandemic. It was crazy times. But I don't know if I count that one. But, I mean, look at what's happened the last 2 years. They signed the best player to ever play in Shohei Ohtani. He deferred money so they could bring his buddy, who's also amazing, in Yamamoto. And these guys have won it back-to-back. You can't say that they can't say that it's not working for the Dodgers.
Yeah, but can you say for a long time it was not working, where their regular season, by the way, and we'll get to the football game, which is similar storyline. There's a difference between being able to win in the regular season and win in the postseason.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. You guys can call in about
you
the
know
World
what I'm
Series.
talking about.
Yeah, of course. 888-710-4ISN. Let's talk about the Bills game yesterday. Bills-Chiefs. Tight game, competitive game. Bills obviously win it 28-21 at a doinked field goal that gave the ball back to Kansas City, Pearl, with plenty of time for them, to try to go down and score. And I'm going to be honest with you, it is really shocking to me when the Chiefs don't score in these situations. They got the ball back, and it was only 22 seconds. But again, we've seen Mahomes do more with less. 13 seconds game comes to mind there. But they had no timeouts.
One shot into the end zone, which is pretty close, and then he couldn't quite even get it to the end zone. Yeah, it was a Hail Mary situation. I got to be honest. I was thinking about you during that 22 seconds. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
Maggie,
not again.
The second the field goal miss, I'm like, oh, Maggie, just hang in there. Hang in there, kid.
Thanks, Dad. No, I appreciate that. I was not hanging in. I was letting it all hang out. No, I was a mess. I was a puddle. But here's the situation. You and I see this very differently. So Bills win 28-21. And I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but basically what you said was same old story.
Yeah, absolutely. The stat is pretty glaring. They're 5-0 since 2020 in the regular season and 0-4 in the postseason. So why am I supposed to think this is any different? I'll even take it a step further. I'll go against the grain here.
Yeah.
It's harder to beat the Chiefs twice than it is to beat them once. So if you lose this game, it makes you almost feel better about the next meeting. I'm telling you right now, this is not what you think it means. I think the Chiefs, if they get to the playoffs to face the Bills, like this loss does not determine anything. Even if the game's in Buffalo, that means you have to knock off Patrick Mahomes twice, and you know how hard that is.
Yeah, it's impossible. But this is where I'm going to disagree with you. So the win brings Buffalo to 6-2,
right,
and the loss for Kansas City takes them to 5-4. This is why yesterday was important for the Bills. You need as many shots at Kansas City as possible in your own stadium.
But they're still going to get home field whether they win or lose that game because they play basically a USFL schedule the next of the year. They're easily winning. Yes, their schedule's so easy.
Pearl, you're forgetting that the Patriots actually beat the Bills already once in Buffalo.
Right, but if they play Kansas City, they'll have a better record.
Well, this is why this is important because, maybe you can look at the Bills on paper, but the Bills on paper lost to the Atlanta Falcons.
But no, the Bills are coming in at 12 wins or 13 wins. The Kansas City is going to sneak in with 10 or 11 wins. They're not getting home field over Buffalo, even with a win last night.
Well, I want to leave as little doubt as humanly possible because I don't know what's going to go on the rest of the year. You've got
you're right.
Indianapolis, we'll talk about them in a moment. That was a big fall from grace yesterday against the Steelers, but are they in trouble or was that just a blip? The Patriots look like they're for real. Got a little help from the Falcons yesterday. Denver, good luck figuring them out, but they got a win yesterday. And it looks like it's going to be the Steelers and the Ravens maybe duking it out in the playoffs, for the AFC North crown. If I'm Buffalo, and I know you can say, Maggie, they lost to Kansas City in Buffalo before, but you know what? You need as many shots at them in your home stadium as humanly possible. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday, and I'm free to admit this, the Bills got a couple calls that really went their way. Being able to not review the intentional grounding call on Patrick Mahomes, Pearl, I just don't think that happens if you're in Kansas City. Gene Steratore, the rules analyst, comes on and says 30 years of his life, he's never seen something like that. I'm not embarrassed for it, and I'm not going to make excuses because Kansas City gets plenty of calls, but I don't think you get that call in KC. I don't think you get some of these calls if you are in Kansas City on the road. You say it all the time. You think your Eagles crowd intimidates the referees. Refs matter in football, even with expedited review, replay review, 150 camera angles. They need that game at home if you're Buffalo, if you have any shot of taking out Kansas City in the postseason, which they haven't been able to do.
I'm not so sure. I mean, home field has obviously famously disappeared a little bit in the playoffs. It's a different world altogether right now. I'm not so sure that's true. I feel like Buffalo going into Kansas City, it's going to be a cold weather game in either KC or Buffalo. I don't just look at the recent AFC title games. Like, it's a total crapshoot who's going to win, the home team or the road team. And maybe Patrick Mahomes is playing. I just think that you can't possibly have confidence after yesterday's game that anything's going to change because they were right there. The Chiefs, by the way, that was the worst game Mahomes has played in like 2 years, and they were still right there.
They said that Patrick Mahomes, the last time that he completed fewer than 50% of his passes was a game against TCU when he was at Texas Tech.
He had no idea where he wanted to go with the ball because credit Sean McDermott. Like, there was just either he didn't see anything or he was just off because he dropped back and you could tell, like, oh, crap, what am I going to do now? Giving time for Joey Bosa and everybody to get to him.
Yeah, they did come up with some big chunk plays, though, when they needed them. I mean, they completed a 4th and 17 at one point. I mean, the Mahomes magic is still very much there. But, Pearl, you're telling me that just because Kansas City one time had to go on the road to win the AFC Championship game and did it in Baltimore in a game when Lamar Jackson and everyone else in a Baltimore uniform just completely no-showed, you think there's no home field advantage whatsoever, yet the Chiefs keep getting these AFC Championship games in their building and getting to the Super Bowl?
2018, Patriots win in Arrowhead.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was a baby.
Okay.
It's his first year as a full-time starter.
2021, Bengals win in Arrowhead.
Mahomes probably got concussed at the end of the first half. That's what we think upon further review.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Okay, let's see. In 2022, they did beat the Bengals barely in Kansas City. Then, obviously, they won in Baltimore. And last year, they beat your Bills in KC. But, I'm not totally disagreeing that home field matters. You know what I mean? Like, this is time and time again. The Bills win this regular season game, and it doesn't work.
Well,
it does not translate.
What, do you want them to fold the franchise? Like, what? I don't know what you want to say, right?
Well, I just honestly, I can't read into that game and say, so the odds switch coming into the game, and even right after the game, I checked the Chiefs were a slight favorite to win the Super Bowl at 6-1.
Yeah.
And the Bills were 6.5 to 1. It just flip-flopped. And now the Bills are the favorite at 6-1, and the Chiefs are 6.5 to 1. I'm not confidently placing that bet until the Chiefs are long dead.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm not going to fight you there, but if the playoffs ended today, the Chiefs would not be in the postseason, which is a very different place for them to be.
Yeah,
last year they went 15-2, but they had all these one-score games that they were winning and kind of pulling stuff out of their you-know-where. This year they're 0-4 in one-score games. It's just a very different kind of season. I'm not writing their obituaries. Yeah. Believe me, I'm not. The Chiefs are amazing, but this has been a little unique season, mostly because guys have been out and they've been getting them back and working them into the lineup, at least offensively.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs' schedule will balance out. They have some tough games. They go to Denver after the bye, but then they end the season with Chargers, who are not going to be the same team now that Joe Alt's out, at Tennessee, Denver in Arrowhead, and at Vegas. So I think that even if it looks desperate, they could get hot as long as Mahomes is healthy. I feel like they're, again, maybe I'm like just haunted by Mahomes. I feel like until they're dead, they're Terminator. They are always going to find a way to get back into the mix. And that's was my takeaway. I'm like, wow, the Bills look great. Their run game was amazing. They stuffed the Chiefs' run game. I'm not going to get fooled again. Because I've thought in the past when I've seen Josh Allen win in the regular season that this is the year. I will not get fooled again. I'm not saying that they can't do it, but I just can't read into last night's game and say, wow, this is a different situation.
Yeah, well, you're the one who keeps picking them for the Super Bowl, you know?
I actually picked the Ravens this year, and if I could have it again, I would take the Bills because the Ravens are not going to win in Buffalo. That's where home field is very important. KC, I do not. Beating them twice, Maggie, you know how hard that is.
Yeah.
And I hope that someone else for the Bills knocks out Mahomes which is very possible. It does happen. You know, KC is not unbeatable because it feels like if it comes down to the fourth quarter, isn't there a mental thing going on?
So I'm glad you mentioned the mental thing because, there definitely is. We're talking about last night. The Bills beat the Chiefs 28-21. Patrick Mahomes has 2 shots at the end zone at the end of the game, but can't connect on either one. So obviously the Bills defense is sus, as the kids say. Sus, especially on the back end there. They allowed some really big chunk yardage, especially on third downs, for Patrick Mahomes to complete 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, a 4th and 17 at one point to keep a drive alive. So the Bills got issues on the back end. There were some young guys yesterday, real young rookies, who made some big plays, and I think that was important for them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have Cole Bishop and you have Max Hairston, and these are guys who are not going to be household names for people outside of Buffalo, so I'm sorry if I'm trying to get in the weeds here, but it's important, I think, that these younger guys who hopefully be playing much better at the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year, Pearl, and Hairston was hurt, they need to be able to taste a little success here, right? I mean, because there is a boogeyman aspect to Patrick Mahomes for a lot of people on this team. And I think for the young guys who have no fear and come in with no history, no bad history, weren't there for 13 seconds, don't give a crap about it, I think it's good for them to get a little taste of it. Now, will it matter? Ultimately, who knows? But that game has to be in Buffalo if the Bills want any shot to actually beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
I reject your logic that they don't know about this, so it doesn't matter because there are all sorts of different players in the 4 playoff losses. It's not also too okay. Let's be realistic about this. This is week 8 or something. There are so many injuries to come for both teams, especially like the Bills seem to be. They kind of get hurt a lot.
Yeah, Ed Oliver's not playing right now.
Yeah, and they lost that young defensive end too last night. Hoyt, is it?
Yeah, he went out with looked pretty bad.
I think they said it was the bad one. I think it was Achilles.
Achilles.
It was a non-contact Achilles.
I just think that also the Chiefs, they have to stay healthy as well. Like I think I am making the mistake of penciling them both into the AFC title game. I worry a little bit about the Bills have a little bit of a Chargers feel now where all their defensive guys seem to get hurt. But we'll see. Because Josh Allen, I'm not surprised that Josh Allen and Cook looked so good last night. They're amazing.
James Cook is something else.
And I told you Dalton Kincaid could be a 1. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm. He's a first-round pick. He should be amazing.
But you were slow on the Kincaid train. Admit it.
He has some games where I think some of it used to be dependent on who you played, right? If you had teams that were susceptible to tight ends, he could really go off. Other games, he would kind of disappear. It was like that, but he's been a lot more consistent this year. Yeah, they should have enough. I mean, as far as offense, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, you've got hopefully Keon Coleman comes through at some point.
Have you ever
and
seen...
you have Josh Allen, obviously.
You got 13 more games to keep Joey Bosa upright.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I know.
I don't want to jinx anyone. I just think that it is also a long season ahead. We're talking like the AFC title game's tomorrow, and it's going to be KC and Buffalo. Long, long way to go.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I wish the playoffs just started tomorrow. Let's just get to it. But
it felt that way during last night's game. You see, like, all right, that's Act 1. Let's go to Act 2.
I was not surprised that Bosa had a big game because if anyone should know Mahomes, it's this guy.
Yeah.
He's been playing him twice a year. I mean, I know Bosa's always been injured and out of lineups, but he should be familiar with how to get through that offensive line. He played for the Chargers for all those years.
Did he beat Mahomes, though?
No, but he applied a lot of pressure.
I'm just saying, he knows how to lose to Mahomes.
Oh, you mean
yeah, I mean, that's...
In L.A.
I assume the Chargers do not have a great record against the Chiefs. Bosa looks great. Again, though, he's a guy who we knew was going to look great, and when you signed him, he was available because teams don't trust that he'll stay healthy. If that whole team that we saw in the Bills last night is healthy coming into the playoffs, man, could be the year. I'll totally go with you there. But the Chiefs, the mental aspect in the playoffs still really worries me.
We have so much more football to get to today, including a wild one in Cincinnati. How do they keep losing these games? And you heard some of the Cincinnati Bengals getting very, very frustrated with the fact that their defense cannot get a stop. So we got some big implications from that game. What in the world happened to the Packers yesterday? A loss at home to the Carolina Panthers? What planet are we on?
Well, they lost to the Browns, too. Now they've lost.
At least that one was on the road.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, they
Flacco
can't.
was still the
double
quarterback.
digit. Well, they're favored by double digits. They can't win. They can
Flacco,
win
you mean
every
the
other game.
reincarnation of Dan Marino?
What's that?
Flacco, you mean the reincarnation of Dan Marino?
We need another category for this dude.
Let's be fair, though, EJ. He's better than Marino.
Joe Flacco, the former Jets quarterback?
Oh, my gosh.
And former Eagle.
It's just we need a new lane. Because what Joe Flacco is doing, we don't see this a lot. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4477.
Joe Flacco?
You guys want to talk about your game on this crazy Monday? Give us a call. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Everybody on bet. You better you bet. You better you bet. The mic's on fire in the 502. Nick's got lines hotter than a barbecue. He's talking spreads like he's slanging truth. Week 9's wild, baby, grab your proof. John's cover, brother, that's a prayer. Just money line dare if you dare. He's ripping the colors all scream. You bet is a gambler's dream.
Yo, Big Friendly, let me ask you something real quick. Why every bar you spit sound like naked night clips? You ancient bro, like turn the dial old. You probably smell like mothballs and mold. Talking about your swing like it still got charm, but every woman just runs from your cologne alarm. Out here begging them to get a whiff. That ain't game, man, it's a red flag gift. You keep name dropping this aces like she a godsend, but she couldn't teach you to flow past the weekend. 3 years of poems, congrats on the haikus. Now go write one titled Why I Always Lose. You think you got depth, you just stuck in a loop. AI came in, now you looking like a washed up troop. Should've stayed retired, sat back with the readers. You're not a sage, you're a features bleeder. Keep name dropping Miss Aces like she a godsend, but she couldn't teach you to flow past the weekend. 3 years of poems, congrats on the haikus. Now go write one titled Why I Always Lose. You think you got depth, you just stuck in a loop. AI came in, now you looking like a washed up troop. Should've stayed retired, sat back with the readers. You're not a sage, you're a features bleeder. See, I rhyme with AI like it's Judgment Day. Skynet bars and I'm ripping your clay. You're scared of the bots, McLovin is too. Perloff still writes his tweets with an ink-dipped shoe. While you're quoting plays and smelling trees, I'm building empires with digital ease. No need to rhyme like it's 1989. I press one button and the crown is mine. You talk retirement like it's some brave feat. Nah bro, you just got beat. Came back for one last sack, you got pancaked. Your verse was dry, your rhythm half-baked. So stay in your lane with your senior pass. Cap got the future, you got the past. So next time you smell yourself, take a seat. Cause that ain't cologne, that's defeat.
Was a Monday morning, the phones were still dead air, humming like time standing still. Mics were hot, but the chair sat bare, and Peter Bellotti was nowhere there. The rundown was tight, the clock was mean, but that board-op booth stayed empty and clean. No call, no note, not even a sign, just silence on that broadcast line. Peter never showed, just faded away. Left the show hanging like a runaway. They gave him a shot, but he threw it aside. Now his boys at the board, just trying to ride. He's spotting breaks and flow, holding it down for a man you don't know. It's a damn shame how the story's told. Peter never showed. The son walked in with a quiet stare, sat where his father never cared. No training, no help, just pressure and pace. Trying to fix the name, trying to save face. Maggie cracked jokes, Perloff kept cool, but behind the laughs it just felt cruel. Cause everybody knew that no one said Peter's career was already dead. Peter never showed, just left a mess. And now his kids cleaning up the rest. Putting in work for a man who ran, taking the hits like a real grown man. He ain't asking for praise, just trying to cope with static and wires and faded hope. It's a hell of a road for a kid alone, 'cause Peter never showed. There's legends in this business, folks who grind, and there's names like
It's gonna be a good day with Maggie and Perloff.
All right, this portion of the show is sponsored by Square. More than 4 million neighborhood businesses run on Square. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square. All right, what was that?
It was Jamar Chase after the game yesterday. Bengals lose to the Bears in an unreal collapse. Well, it was a comeback, and then the Bengals defense can't close, and that was Jamar Chase saying one bleeping stop. Can't get one bleeping stop.
I mean, really, they shouldn't. And the funny thing is, now I think about it, they should have lost the game. They got a crazy onside kick recovery. So it is a bizarre game. If the Bears had lost, that would have been the collapse of the season.
Yep.
So it's a lot going on with this game.
Yes.
This is my favorite game of the year. I know week one had a great game with the Ravens and Bills.
Yeah.
This was just as bananas and kind of impactful too, because the Bengals really should be in the mix. With Joe Flacco playing this well, they should be a contender in the AFC North, but they keep blowing these games.
I mean, Flacco erasing a 2-score deficit in the final 2 minutes. They take the lead with 54 seconds left. I mean, he was 31 for 47, 470 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks in the game, but that's because it's Joe Flacco. I mean,
470. That's the number.
470
yards. He's getting his career highs in his 40s. It's amazing.
Well, he's got these 2 incredible weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And this one came from, I saw it from a guy, Doug Clawson, on X yesterday. The Bengals are the second team in NFL history to lose back-to-back games, both with 38 points scored. Last week, it was to the lowly Jets, where Breece Hall, the running back, throws a touchdown to beat the Bengals. Defense couldn't get a stop there. This game starts out with DJ Moore throwing a touchdown to Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson in his bag of tricks yesterday. And the Bengals defense is just absolutely toothless. And you make the trade for Flacco because you're trying to hold the fort for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And Flacco and the offense have far and away done their part.
Yep.
I mean, they've done everything you could ask for, and the defense is so bad, Pearl. I mean, Zach Taylor has to get fired off of this, right?
Yeah, and quasi GM, his title's not GM, but Duke Tobin will probably get fired because he picked these guys. But there's something about that Bengals ownership that makes you nervous. Like they obviously, and I actually like Zach Taylor, but obviously the team is not responding right now. So, you saw the full T. Higgins and Jamar Chase effect. They should be in contention this year, even without Joe Burrow. I think it's time to start over. Zach Taylor, by the way, this is a guy who got to the brink of winning a championship and almost beat KC in KC. So it's not all on him, but there's something about that. It's organizational dysfunction. You can kind of tell. The fact that the offense is cursing out the defense after the game, that means it's got to be really bad.
So let's hear some of that. So now Zach Taylor, as the head coach, doesn't just have to worry about how much his defense stinks. Now he's got to worry about the offense and the defense having some kind of civil war in their locker room. So here is Chase Brown, running back for the Bengals, after the game, saying he just wishes the defense could make a bleeping play.
We just got to play complementary football. Like, we put the ball in the end zone and go up a point at the end, finish the game. Like, just end it. Like, that's it. Like, that's what we need to do. Just end the game. Like, Make them get us the ball back. Let us go to 22 victory and let's end the game. That's how I feel.
Yeah, very honest. That was Chase Brown. Let's hear from Jamar Chase, who says he doesn't know how to react to this terrible defense.
I don't know. I've never been in this situation. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know. I'm just trying to stay positive.
Okay, and more from Chase when asked to elaborate, said, you know what? I'm going to mind my business on this
I'm
one.
going to stay in my lane. I don't want no defensive player come and chew me out about what the I'm doing.
It ain't good. And I get it, Pearl. Emotions are going to be running high here, and they're going to have to clean this up. Because if I'm a defensive player for the Bengals and I hear Chase Brown or Jamar Chase saying these kind of things, I can't get offended. I can't get upset. You just lost to the Jets and now to the Bears, who, you basically had dead to right, and you should still be in this thing. And instead, they're 3-6, and the season's basically over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if they were mad, what are they going to do? They're the Bengals defense. They can't hit.
Oh.
Ouch. I mean, I do think that.
Dang.
Chase Brown
got no hands.
Oof.
Honestly, what the heck has Chase Brown done in this league? That's one thing I would say. Nothing. I mean, honestly, at this point, do you trade Trey Hendrickson today and get as much as you can and just it's time to rebuild. I think that is the message here. But it's hard when you have so much. When you have really the best wide receiver duo we've seen in a long time. I'm going to put them ahead of Jefferson and Addison or anybody else in the league. Maybe Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua when they're together. But this there's so much talent there, but it's just not working. The question is, will Zach Taylor get a pass because Joe Burrow's hurt? That's a little bit of a concern.
Well, you're the head coach. You're not the offensive coordinator. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. 7:30 Eastern time. We got breaking news. This means somebody has gotten fired.
Is it Zach Taylor just after I said that?
No firings.
Okay.
So everybody still got jobs, but
Okay.
people may be moving around. So it's 7:30. We have our first biggest trade of the NFL trade deadline. So Perloff, your Philadelphia Eagles have acquired Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. So the Eagles, who are looking for an edge rusher, find themselves in a former Kane, Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, Fangio had him in Miami, loved him. Everybody thought this was coming. The one thing this probably knocks out a couple bigger fish. Not that Miles, our friend Diana, I love her. I was really mad at her this weekend, but she reported the Browns will not trade Myles Garrett to the Eagles no matter what.
That's her fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her accuracy. Yeah, and it's totally her fault. She's married to an Eagles fan. She shouldn't put that out into the universe. So Myles Garrett, that was the dream all weekend. I walked around Halloween night. At least 4 Eagles fans said to me, do you think we're getting him? Meaning Myles Garrett, not going to happen. Jalen Phillips, I don't know. I mean, Maggie, you've seen a lot more of this guy as a Bills fan, and I guess Vic Fangio, the defense coordinator of the Eagles, loves him. I don't know if this is the game changer because the Eagles defense still scares me.
Well, that's the whole thing about Philadelphia, though, right? When you're talking about that defensive line, do you really need the game changer, or do you just need someone who can be productive and who can strengthen that line?
I don't know.
You have so many dogs on this team. What do you want? You really want Myles Garrett? Get out of here.
Are you kidding me? I see the dogs, but they're out making plays in other cities. I saw Javon Hargrave made an incredible play the other day. Milton Williams. Even Bryce Huff is all of a sudden good on another team. We need some edge pressure in a big, big way. And Zadarius Smith, who they signed early this season, that obviously didn't work. I don't know. Jalen Phillips has always been, to me, more promise than delivery.
Well, he's also been on teams that have not been very great,
Yeah.
I mean, playoffs, but not actual real contenders. I think that he goes to Philadelphia and probably gets rejuvenated.
But,
imagine being a Miami Dolphin right now. What do you have to play for?
Right.
It's been a complete mess since the beginning of the season.
Does this mean, by the way, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, maybe even Trey Hendrickson might not go anywhere because I'm sure the Eagles tried to go as high end as possible. And Jalen Phillips is good, but third round pick is high. I'll bet you they offered first for guys. I really do think that because it is a thin margin of error. And what you need a closer. I mean, look at what Joey Bosa did for the Bills yesterday. And that, by the way, means your Bills. Do the Bills need a pass rusher still, or what? They need defensive.
They need
backfield
secondary
because of injuries and stuff.
Yeah, one thing about that Bills-Chiefs game that you and I did not talk about, and thank you for that breaking news, EJ, that Jalen Phillips now is headed from Miami to the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid decided to kick a field goal at the end of the first half. I was stunned. You're 4th and 1 with a couple seconds left to go. You don't have any timeouts, but
it was the last play, obviously.
Last play. But here I just don't understand Like, did he have a stroke on the sideline? Like, I'm only being like,
Did you see the 3 plays before?
Who cares? Any team in the league should go for that at 4th
Well, the
and
reason
1.
you go for a 4th and 1 is because you pin the defense, you pin the other team down there. There's no pinning them down because the half was over.
No,
So
you're trailing. You need to score.
Well, they were down. It made it 21-13, and they got the ball back at the beginning of the second half, and they were moving the ball. It's different. One of the reasons you go for a 4th and 1 at the goal line is because if you fail, the other team's at the 1-yard line, and you lost that advantage. So I think the analytics changed. But it wasn't just that. Those 3 plays before were like, they moved backwards. They were awful. They didn't look like Mahomes at all.
You're the Kansas City Chiefs. You've got more weapons now. You've got everybody healthy.
Your run game stinks.
Well,
Kareem Hunt is your best option, and he should not be your best option.
I don't know, scored easily on a different touchdown later on in the game.
But by the way, that red zone drive wasn't pretty either. Like there's something they're a little bit off right now.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. Again, Jalen Phillips gets traded from the Dolphins to the Eagles.
All your other headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com. Maybe their luck will run out later this season, or maybe the Broncos will just keep winning like this.
Snap, placement, kick on the way. It is good!
Short and sweet on Broncos radio. Will Lutz good from 34 as time expired, giving Denver an 18-15 win in Houston. The Broncos now 4-0 when down entering the fourth quarter. It was 15-7 through 3 yesterday. Boo Nix's team has won 6 in a row overall.
I thought we did a good job managing, the situations. And we played a little bit of a field position battle there at the very end. And we knew it was a matter of time till there was just a drive that, we went down and scored.
That's taken on a camcorder?
This game also featured a sketchy hit on a sliding C.J. Stroud in the first quarter. Oof. It left the Texans QB in concussion protocols. Jaden Daniels, meanwhile, may have suffered a season-ending left elbow injury late in the Commanders' 38-14 loss to the Seahawks on Sunday Night Football. Daniels was trying to run in a touchdown, got spun to the ground, put his left arm down to brace his fall, and his elbow buckled. It's reportedly dislocated. The game already decided, so why was Daniels still playing, Dan Quinn?
In hindsight, you don't want to think that way where, an injury could take place. Obviously we're more conservative in that spot to run and hand off and not have reads to go. But just the end result, Mickey, obviously I'm bummed.
Oh, he's bummed. His team on a 4-game losing streak, dropping to 3-6 overall. One other significant injury note from yesterday, the Packers afraid Tucker Kraft tore his ACL during their 16-13 loss to the Panthers.
That's such a huge blow for them. Their offense, they're already missing a lot of guys, Jaden Reed, stuff like that, but Tucker Kraft, you saw it during the Steelers game. He was the offense.
Well, I actually had the thought, they need to learn to throw to their wide receivers there. So maybe believe me, this is going to be a huge injury, but maybe it opens up the offense a little more because right now their offense looks predictable and was terrible yesterday.
Nebraska QB Dylan Raiola done for the season. A broken right leg suffered in Saturday night's loss to USC. And South Carolina fired OC Mike Shula yesterday after their 4th loss in a row. They're 3-6 altogether. I saw a tweet this morning saying this is NBA history.
Oh, they take it away from Wiggins. Good defense by Van. 3-on-1. Bronny.
I've not yet confirmed the validity of NBA history, but maybe Austin Reeves is the first player ever to throw an alley-oop to a father and son. Last night hooking up with Bronny, with dad, of course, still sidelined. The Lakers won their 3rd straight, 130-120 over the Heat. Luka, 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. And baseball handed out its gold gloves last night. The Cubs leading the way with 3 winners. Left fielder Ian Happ, center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong, and second baseman Nico Horner. Guys, back to you.
Bogues, thanks so much. Quickly, Reed is in Indianapolis. Reed, you saw your Colts lose to the Steelers yesterday. Were you worried?
Hey, all right. I don't. Is there anything as a moral victory because we got 6 turnovers and only lost by 7? So that is that a is that a moral victory? That's one question. And the other question is,
yes. The other
is this
question.
Mike McDaniel?
Okay, so they had trick the trunk or treat here in America, but in Europe they call the trunk the boot.
Yeah.
Do they have boot or treat in Europe?
Reed, you're asking the question that everyone in America is thinking this morning. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I've heard of the boot and rally. I feel like we call that Friday night of mayonnaise.
You've heard of it?
I've heard. We'll go to the moral victory.
All right. It's so funny. The Colts, of course, were in that game. Because Aaron Rodgers has the same exact passing total every single game, 203 yards. He's had it 9 weeks in a row. That Steelers offense, it's so Mike Tomlin. It's you know what? We have a lead. Let's just hang out and hope that we end up with a victory, no matter how many times Daniel Jones throws it to us.
It was funny because I'm watching 6 games, 7 games at once in the 1 o'clock 6, 7 games at once. There was one on the Steelers game. They're showing a graphic about how Mike Tomlin is the least aggressive head coach as far as fourth down calls and other things and going for it.
And first down and
since
second down and third down.
2009, and they're talking about that. And then on the flip side, I have Greg Olson on the Packers Carolina Panthers game at the same time being if you don't go for it on fourth down in this league, you're going to get left behind. And
we do not care.
And it was happening at the exact same time. I was having whiplash. No, you got the full Daniel Jones experience, Colts fans, yesterday.
Yeah.
This one's a little more familiar to the Giants fans. The 3 interception, was it 2 fumbles?
It was,
Yeah.
5.
Smith got one, Watt got one, right?
Yeah, 5 turnovers by
3
him.
total
6
fumbles.
Yeah, 2 lost.
2 lost, yeah.
And multiple picks.
And then the 3 picks. Yeah, that's what we call the full DJ.
The only thing he didn't do was trip on a yard line.
If that game had gone a little longer, maybe he would have gotten that. I don't know. He doesn't run much anymore.
I don't know. It feels like this. New York people rip Sam Darnold too, and he sure looks like an MVP to me.
That's not
maybe Daniel Jones is better than you think. I'm just saying. Maybe that's not the full Daniel Jones. The week, the other weeks are the full Daniel Jones. How do you know?
Well, we'll find out. But I don't know where that Steelers defense was hiding. All of a sudden, they looked amazing.
The formula for the Steelers to win, Mike Tomlin had a lot of great quotes after the game. It's obviously T.J. Watt wins you the game or T.J. Watt doesn't win you the game. And he's back. I don't know where he went, but he's back. And when he is doing that, then they're so frustrating to me because they do not change at all. This is the same Pittsburgh Steelers team for 9 years, and they're going to be 10-7 and lose in the wild card. Sorry, facts.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Was there another team besides Indianapolis that maybe showed a bit of a pretender? It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining.
Maggie woke up, eyes full of dread. Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king. Ship held it down night after night, with fire in his voice and truth in his mic. But the news came in like a cold hard slap. Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real, Shepard earned a late night deal. Now Shepard ain't sleeping and Bailey's in tears. The Shepard maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled the moon and cursed at the sky, asking one question: why, oh why, oh why? Meanwhile, Bellotti still don't show up for work. No call, no text, just gone with a smirk. Yet Ship clocked in through the thick and the thin. Rain or shine, he'd always check in. Infinity, you broke our trust. We wanted Shep and that's a must. You picked a Boyle, but we needed flame. Now the overnights just won't be the same. Yeah, Shepard ain't sleeping, we're twisted with rage. You skipped the vet for the new kid on stage. From the Bronx to the burbs, we're standing tall. Shepard maniacs answer every call. So crank up the static, let the record show. There's only one man for that late night blow. Pat's got the slot, but it don't feel right, 'cause Shepard ain't sleeping, not tonight. Shepard ain't sleeping, we're twisted. Still ghosting.
He'll spill his deep pro, yo, messed up bad. Took the wrong quote, now the whole squad's mad, dragging.
1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
There's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes in our business, and, that's an example of it.
It's Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
It's a good one. Another Mike Tomlinism to add to the file.
Yeah, it doesn't 100% make sense, which is so Tomlin.
You have to think about it for a second. I get what he's talking about there. It's not always pretty.
Can you explain a little?
Yeah, it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's fine wine, and sometimes it's just crushing grapes.
Oh, see, it's not always pretty. I felt like sometimes the grapes turn into wine and sometimes they don't. They just become sour. I don't know. Like, basically, he's saying it's such a thin margin between winning and losing.
Yeah. We both came up with that.
But that's not what you said. Sometimes it's ugly. No, he's not saying it's ugly. Sometimes he says you basically have the same team can play 1 to 2 weeks, and honestly, 3 plays can determine whether it's a win or a loss. It's not like what you think it is.
I think
There's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes.
The more you try to,
that's an example of it.
The more you try to really think about, just let the Tomlinism just wash over you, right? Just enjoy it while we have it. 888-710-4ISN. But the bigger question is, what did you take away from it, right? Steelers defense, who looked really bad in the second half against the Packers last week, right? Yep. They let Jordan Love do whatever he wanted, basically. And Tucker Kraft ran and caught was just rough shot all over them, catches, runs, all that yak. And then this week, completely different story. They harassed Daniel Jones. He threw 3 picks. He put the ball on the turf a few times. it was just a completely different looking game for Pittsburgh. Now, they only win by a score, but again, there's Tomlin with you with that grapes and wine line. It's never going to be a blowout with these Steelers. That's not what they do.
The Steelers, I'll tell you what they do. They beat good teams, and they lose to bad teams. Remember, last year they were 8-2, then they started dropping games that were completely inexcusable. So they'll probably beat your Bills in week 13 and then turn around and lose to Miami in week 15. They are the most erratic under Mike Tomlin. It almost feels like their formula is not sustainable. Like, yes, TJ Watt can wreck a game and you win, but Aaron Rodgers throws all these short passes into so much traffic, and I don't feel like their offense is really fully realized. It doesn't feel like they have a consistent run game, and it doesn't feel like Aaron Rodgers can throw down the field. Am I missing something with their offense? He never takes shots, and it doesn't feel like he's a great shot when he does take them.
Well, he's only got DK Metcalf, really, and Roman Wilson, I guess. But here's the thing. I think that Mike Tomlin, this is the thing. When they have a lead, when the Steelers have a lead, it just gives Mike Tomlin permission to punt on every 4th and 2 and 4th and 3 imaginable, right? Like, it's just not an aggressive offense. It's really conservative. And when they have the lead, they just turtle up. But to me, the bigger story was really about the Steelers' defense because they were really bad. And I'm curious, does this mean they've found some kind of turning point, or are they actually going to be the unit that the Steelers can rely on? I don't know, but it was impressive for sure.
10-7. It's headed our way.
Let's go to Richie, who's in Queens. Good morning, Richie. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. How are you?
We're good. What's on your mind?
Yeah, you touched on the Steelers. I watched them a little bit. I'm up in PA now, so I get first time I've seen Jones, and it kind of was a flashback a little bit of when he was with the Giants. I mean, the fumble, the strip play, something that he's avoided pretty much all year. But I want to talk about the Giants, Maggie. It's just beyond pathetic how bad they are. Obviously we're looking at Dart, we're looking at Progress, so we want to see him do well. The defensive line that was supposed to be one of the elite guys with Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, they keep saying he does good things. You know what? I don't need a singles hitter when I got a power hitter. I don't need a guy like Carter who's fairly good against the run. I need that sack that makes it 3rd and 13 and, and 2nd and whatever it may be. And I'm not seeing that. And, Dable he comes out, obviously, I don't know how much you can say after you lose the way you lose every week. But they're just so incredibly inept.
Yeah. Final score was really deceiving there, Richie. 34-24. You would think, all right, maybe the Giants had a way to hang in this game. It was just not the case. Thank you for the call. It was, listen, what are you supposed to do if you're this great defensive line, Pearl, when you're down 2 scores? And basically, Mac Jones and Christian McCaffrey can kind of do whatever they want. And that's exactly what they did.
I mean, they did. Brian Burns did blow up the game a couple times. He leads the league in sacks. It's not like their defensive line isn't doing anything. It's just, I hate to say it, I feel like they lost their mojo when Scatterbo went down. I know that's not scientific. Dart looked pretty good to me. I'm kind of into Jackson Dart. And I understand Richie's frustration, but that's what this season is about. Forget anything else. Can you build around Jackson Dart? And I think that's a yes. And Brian Burns, I'm telling you right now, you can't win Defensive Player of the Year with 4 wins.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He is fantastic. And it's so weird they picked Abdul Carter when they have, I think Brian Burns, and this might be a hot take, is right there with Myles Garrett and Nick Bosa and Aiden Hutchinson or any of those guys. So what is Abdul Carter's role? I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, listen, I think they did not pick up the 5th-year option on Kayvon Thibodeau. So they're probably, first of all, he was the best available at 3.
Well, they could have gone, I think they should have gone Will Campbell. I mean, maybe. Because they can't keep their offensive linemen healthy. Best available, but maybe you don't always go best available if you already have a guy there.
Yeah, I mean,
I
can't really knock them for taking Abdul Carter.
I hear, well, we did say a lot of people were like, that's a lot invested in that defensive line.
They have a lot invested in the offensive line, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all falling apart.
Well, that's the Giants story for the last decade plus. But yeah, Jackson Dart keeps his eyes downfield. I'll give him that. He can scoot and get away from pressure, but easy San Francisco win.
You're in a 5-minute break.
just to make clickbait. Didn't even bother to. Turn on the radio, it's time to hear it all. Maggie and Perloff, they be talking about the ball. Football, baseball, even hoops in the fall. Debating all the takes, man, they never drop the call. Oh, we all just wanna have a ball. Maggie's bringing fire, Perloff's taking every stall. Hot takes flying like a deep end zone hall. Laughing at the nonsense, gotta listen to it all. Perloff's got a list, but it don't make sense at all. Maggie shuts it down like a big defensive wall. Callers on the line trying to give their little draw. South still yelling about the Mets, man, he's ready to ball. Oh, we all just wanna have a ball. Peter Bellotti, he's a man of many tastes, but he's got a debt and it's not going to waste. Andrew Bogusch is waiting, he's been oh so kind for that well-seasoned steak. It's been on his mind. Peter Bellotti owes Andrew Bogusch a steak, oh yes he does. Well, seasoned, juicy, with all the flavors he loves. It's time to fire up the grill, make no mistake. Peter Bellotti, it's time to bake that steak. Andrew Bogusch's been patient, but he's starting to drool. Thinking about that steak, oh, it's making him cool. Peter Bellotti, don't delay, it's time to make amends. Cook up that.
In Peter Bellotti's world, it's always a Tom Hanks scene.
Peter Bellotti's world, it's always a Tom Hanks scene. From Big to Castaway, he's the fan club dean.
Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Left
ウィル・スミスのホームランでドジャース勝ち越し。山本に援護点。11回表、5対4ドジャース勝ち越しました。この試合初めてリードを奪いましたドジャース。
Thank you to NHK Japanese TV. That's how the World Series sounded. Man, are you going to translate that one?
I think he said the ball went really far for a home run, and I think Yamamoto was thrown in there too.
I think we picked up that. Yeah, Yamamoto, your World Series MVP, Pearl, and it was a masterpiece really throughout the series from Yamamoto. A complete game in Game 2, then Game 6, he was great for 6 innings, then comes in for the final 2 2/3 innings, and he got more outs than Shohei Ohtani did in Game 7. Just unbelievable how the Dodgers rallied. A home run in the 9th inning to tie the game from Miguel Rojas, of all people, hadn't homered since mid-September. And then Will Smith, one of your postseason heroes, which you can add to a laundry list here for the Dodgers, where he hits a home run in extras off of Shane Bieber, one of the very good to great pitchers in Major League Baseball, and served up a home run. Just unreal, and it's just so heartbreaking for the Toronto Blue Jays that as much as people want to celebrate the Dodgers, it almost feels like it's more about Toronto's sadness than LA's success.
Oh, yeah, I feel terrible for Toronto. EJ had a good point on our call last night. Did Fox jinx the Blue Jays? Because they were acting like the game was over in the 7th inning when I think it was still 4-2, and started talking about sort of overarching themes about the Blue Jays' success.
What were they doing on Japanese TV?
Yeah, there were certain moments where it felt like when, I think it was when Clements slid into home base and spread his arms out.
He kind of did. He posed, really.
Yeah, he posed.
Yeah.
It felt like, but then they were stranding runners. I mean, the story of the game from the Toronto's, there's 2 things: base running mistakes, but stranding runners again and again and again, and getting guys to second and third with 0 outs or 1 outs and not being able to get the clutch hit. I just feel awful for my friends up north. And I hate the fact that the last time the Blue Jays won the World Series, it was on the Joe Carter home run. Can we move on? Can't they beat somebody else besides my Philadelphia Phillies? But that's like sports, Maggie. I mean, that's not a very deep statement. There's nothing more heartbreaking than sports, because especially baseball, because it's a slow death, and you could almost feel the Dodgers coming back there. I will give you, I haven't said nice things about the Dodgers today, but I think they're amazing. But they did not for 1 second give up on that game. Like, you didn't sense that they felt like the series was over. Their bats were competitive to the very end, and that's why they won.
Yeah, and they couldn't hit the ocean for most of the series, but when they needed to, came up with some incredibly clutch hits. And I want to kill the Dodgers today. I really do. You know, I hate what they did with Shohei Ohtani deferring all that money. It bothered me from the moment it happened. Yes, we were sitting here next to each other.
But
because it feels like cheating, and it allowed them to sign Yamamoto, who ends up becoming the World Series MVP. And it was like the rich getting richer and richer. And you actually saw it in this Game 7, right? Where you saw all of 4 of the Dodgers starting pitchers all pitched in this game. Shohei Ohtani started the game. Glasnow was in this game. Blake Snell was in this game. And then Yamamoto finished the game. And it was like, it just was a constant reminder of all of their money and all the ways that they separated themselves were just like in your face in this Game 7. And I want to hate it. I do. But then I think about some of the heroes who actually won this game for them. And it is Miguel Rojas, who's a backup, like, utility infielder at this point, right? Middle infielder. I look at Andy Pages, who makes this incredible catch that we're going to be watching now till the end of time, knocks out his own teammate basically to do it. And that is an all-time moment. And Andy Pages is not a high-paid player. And Will Smith, for as good of a catcher as he is, I mean, even he had his amazing moment, and it was not Freeman, and it was not Betts, and it was not Ohtani. So to me, it's like I want to kill the Dodgers, but I have to respect them. I have to admire them, and I have to admire Yamamoto most of all, because to come back after pitching 6 innings in Game 6 and then to basically win the game for your team in a Game 7 on the road is unreal. Unreal.
So did you kill the Mets for signing Juan Soto for $765 million?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not killing them. The one thing that bothers me about the Dodger fans is, like, you guys just take the win. Like, you can't take the win and also feel like you're going to get everybody's respect at all times. When you buy teams like this and when you have this all-time payroll, you're going to have detractors. the Mets are an all-time. If you bring up the Mets today, I don't know why you would.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of high
failure.
income teams. Like, first of all, I don't think this. I don't know. Is it the deferred part of, like, so you're just killing the Dodgers because they're the richest team, but there are a lot of, like, really high spending teams. So you're saying, like, do you have the same problem with the Mets and the Yankees as you do with the Dodgers?
They didn't defer that money.
So it's the deferring that really bothers you.
Yes, I've been as clear as a bell about this because if he doesn't, so Shohei's basically making like $10 million a year.
Yeah, give him credit. Like, that's a smart move. It's like Tom Brady.
No, it's not because football is a salary cap sport. This isn't a salary cap sport. And so you could have had Shohei just get paid what he was getting paid, the $700 million, and he didn't have to defer any of that money, or at least not this much, and they probably would not have had enough money left to sign Yamamoto.
Well, if it's not a cap sport, then why would they have not had enough money? Because there is, like, some penalty, right? You go into tax.
Fine. Who cares?
Well,
right?
I'm just saying, like, so why does it defer? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm totally wrapping my head around, like, what, it just feels tricky to you, or like what, like, credit the guy. Like, he's like, I'll defer the money, I'll take it later. Bobby Bonilla or whatever, so you can bring in more players.
Yeah, Bobby Bonilla is $1.2 million, but it's not exactly same. But here's the thing. It's not that I'm saying that Ohtani didn't do the right thing. Yeah, obviously, you're an all-time teammate for doing that. Fine. I'm just saying that this is what leads to people feeling like you bought the team because you have one guy who's deciding to take less when he doesn't have to. Tom Brady, I think, felt like he wanted to and had to because they actually have a salary cap. Right. And he wanted to take less also because his wife was making, $50 million a year or whatever as a supermodel. This, to me, it just, if you're a Dodger fan, you can't get in your feelings when people say you bought a team. Just say, of course we did, and keep it moving.
Right, but to me, I would say they're one of several teams that have bought a team. Like, they're not singular unless, and I kind of hear, like you're saying, the deferred money makes them singular.
Yes, because no one else is doing $700 million.
But everybody else is, like, there are other owners who are trying to buy a World Series. As you sort of laid out, like, give the Dodgers credit, like, they actually executed, and it wasn't just the high price guys. Yeah. Like, for example, I mean, the Mets and the Yankees and my Phillies are not that far behind. And actually, the Blue Jays tried to buy a World Series. If they could have paid up for Shohei, they would have in 2 seconds. So I just don't think. I would not kill the Dodgers for quote unquote buying a World Series because I think in this day and age, like, anybody can buy a World Series. Like, the Mets have the richest owner in baseball, right? Isn't he?
Yes, but
so they should buy a World Series too. But it's so
much
much harder. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I was never going to kill the Dodgers for buying a World Series because you can't do that. You can't buy a World Series. You have to execute. It's not, to me, it's not the payroll that won them the series, and it never was going to be. I mean, because in modern baseball, how many times does the highest payroll win? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Now it's nothing like it used to be.
But you'll agree with me that if Shohei Ohtani doesn't defer all that money, the likelihood of them signing Yamamoto for $325 million is probably not as high.
Actually, I don't know. I always feel like the Dodgers are in on everyone, and it doesn't even matter how much money they spend. You're educating me on this. I don't know if they had structured Shohei differently. Were they out on Yamamoto? Because I kind of feel like Yamamoto wanted to go there too.
I don't know. I mean, a $700 million guy and a $325 million guy. That's crazy.
Well, the Mets are going to do that, aren't they?
Dodgers and Mets were basically in an arms race for Yamamoto, and the Dodgers went up in the ante once they were able to get Shohei locked in that deferred deal.
But I don't think it's going to be crazy to have a $700 million guy and a $300 million guy moving forward.
In the same offseason, though, to pay for one offseason?
Maybe the same, but I mean, I'm sure are the Mets going to do that this offseason and have basically $760 for Soto? They're probably going to pay.
It's a little weird because the Mets, not getting to the Mets minutia, but they have a general manager who actually doesn't believe in a lot of just spend everything. He's a kind of a Moneyball guy. So, like, they might lose Pete Alonso because of that. And they might actually get a player who may not be as expensive.
So the Yankees or whatever.
Right,
they're going to be these other teams are going to be spending up in that stratosphere soon.
It's possible. But it just feels like, I mean, watching free agency happen every year and you see guy after guy after guy go to the Dodgers, you do look at this and say, like, man, this feels like this is, again, a different playing field than everyone else. The Mets, the Yankees maybe can get one or two big guys, but it doesn't feel the same to me.
And
also, let's not forget, they have Glasnow and Snell.
Yeah, it wasn't just this offseason. This is every offseason. Every time I always hear, this guy is going to look around at this, I'm like, well, if the Dodgers want in, they're getting that guy. That's just the way it's been for almost a decade, right? I mean, if the Dodgers really wanted, the Padres made their little run at stealing guys, but even that is like almost bankrupted the franchise.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What's funny about this, too, is we can have these arguments about buying a team, not buying a team. This is an all-time series, even if you had no dog in the fight.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable to watch. You just had no idea what was coming next. I've never seen this many, Pearl, feels like unreal plays at the plate, on the base paths, in the outfield. Like, this series was almost more about the defense than it was about the offense. And the offense, for the Dodgers was basically non-existent until it absolutely had to be. And for Toronto, you had guys who are basically wrote their name into the record books alongside like the Mickey Mantles and the Babe Ruths. Now you've got the Ernie Clements and the Bargers. I mean, it was just so exciting and entertaining that, we can quibble about money and all of that, but it was an all-time watch. And this is fantastic for baseball, I have to imagine, because you thought, okay, it's got to be Dodgers and Yankees to really pull people in. Not true. Not true at all. This series showed that
Dodgers.
No, but you can also make big stars out of guys who don't have to necessarily play in New York, Boston, or Chicago.
One of the greatest World Series. I mean, it's not going to be. Let's not get caught up in the moment. I
said one of.
Yeah,
I didn't say the
best.
best.
No, I know. Actually, you didn't say that, but I was actually thinking, was this the greatest World Series ever? I think as time goes on, I think it'll make a lot of top 10 lists for a long time. There's a couple obviously historical ones that jump out a little bit. It doesn't have the history of, say, the Cubs and the Cleveland. Like, there are a couple.
Yeah, that's an all-timer too.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I'm. Yankees Diamondbacks was right there. Any Game 7 World Series are all amazing.
Okay, but we can talk about that. The Bill Mazeroski home run, the Joe Carter home run. There are these moments, and I know that there's games that lead up to those moments, but this to me, especially Game 6 and Game 7, felt like it was just nonstop. If you were to name, what are the 5 plays that won this, or what's the one play that was their turning point, or what's the one thing, you could say the Will Smith home run that gave the Dodgers the lead, but think about all the other 15 things that happened just in Game 6 and Game 7 alone.
It's hard to go over the TikTok. I'm sure that happened in the other classic World Series too. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a list. The number one having the Red Sox, and the Carlton Fisk year, 75. I'm sure baseball lends itself to a lot of little moments. That's what's amazing about it. It's not. I think all the World Series have this. This is definitely, in my mind, gets in the top 10. It's definitely the best of the Dodgers 3 in this era. Last year was barely competition. 2020, big asterisk. So this was very cool. Probably, and I think that, we talk about the ratings. Did you see the numbers are massive because of the Japanese crowd? The overall numbers are insane. I think. It did rejuvenate baseball in some ways. It's still a spread out sports landscape. I don't think baseball is going to all of a sudden pass the NBA and pass college football, but I do think this is all very good.
I'll tell you what, you got a real villain now, because I think whether people thought the Dodgers were like the Goliath to David, okay, that's fine, but you mentioned they have a lot of likable guys with Mookie Betts, and people love Shohei and all of that, but now with 2 back-to-back and the way that the heartbreak happened for Toronto, I think you've got everyone gunning for the Dodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely target on their back, but I do feel this is a little bit of 90s Jordan in the sense that you kind of want to see them at the highest level because of Shohei. I mean, I think the story isn't the Dodgers payroll. The story is you have the GOAT in real time. We get to watch him hopefully throw and bat at the same time, although I would just keep him as a batter. I think Shohei is the thing. He's like Wemby in basketball. He'll be the biggest story we've ever seen coming into next year. Don't you think? I mean, coming off all these MVPs in a row, he is Michael Jordan right now.
Let's go to Wilson, who's in Southern California. Wilson, what do you think about the Dodgers World Series win?
Good morning. Very happy about it. And I sympathize with you, Maggie, because growing up, and I'm older than you, growing up through the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, and watching Steinbrenner, his Death Star, scoop away Catfish Hunter, scoop away Reggie Jackson, into the 80s, scoop away Dave Winfield, into the 90s, Roger Clemens. So I'm saying decades of this frustration for me, on and on. And it's still going on, but right now the Dodgers are on the other end of the spectrum.
Yep.
But this is not the last time we've seen this. And Maggie, in all fairness, within the next year or two, this point will be moot because money changes everything, and it only ramps up. And the Padres and the Yankees and the Red Sox and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, are going to start ramping up the ante, as well as the Dodgers. One last thought. I think in 10 years, we're going to see Bob Costas sitting on a stool with Tom Verducci. There's going to be 4 Blue Jays and Dodgers, and they're going to be talking about this series because in my mind, and I've seen a lot, this one is easily in the top 5. Right now, I'm just trying to wrap my head like you guys on what we just saw. The greatness of pitching, the greatness of that hitter, Vlade, and then just clutch home runs with 2 outs, and then a team with bases loaded and 1 out that just couldn't get over the hump and choked it away.
I know.
So anyway, I appreciate you guys listening to me. I know you're going to 86 me here, but I had to get my thoughts in.
No, listen, Wilson, it's a good point that are we going to have, I think what Wilson is trying to say there, Pearl, is that we're just going to have an even bigger gap between the haves and the have-nots in baseball.
No,
right?
I think he's saying that other teams are going to come after the Dodgers and try and outspend them.
Right. So, but not the Pirates and not the Royals and not the, Guardians and the teams that are traditionally these lower payrolls. If you have teams that are now going to be going for it, like the Mariners and your Phillies and these teams like Toronto, these teams that actually do have money and will spend it, are we going to even see more of a gap between the haves and the have-nots? That's what I heard from what he was talking about. If you're going after the Dodgers and you're going after them with your wallet, that means there's going to be teams that get fully left in the dust.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I also feel like he thinks, the Dodgers have this great edge now, but what if somebody else starts to collect talent? You know what it does lack a little bit, and maybe I'm missing something, is the one moment, and maybe you want to do Will Smith, but I'm looking at Greatest World Series Over, and they sort of have an iconic moment. For example, Bill Buckner, Carlton Fisk, even though the team ended up losing it, or Bill Mazeroski. What's the one, what do you call this World Series? What's the shorthand moment?
Yamamoto.
Nah, really?
I guess you'd say Will Smith if you want the home run, but it actually ended. The game ended on a double play ball started by Mookie Betts.
Even Yamamoto, it's not like Jack Morris.
The Miggy Rowe game? Miguel Rojas
game?
The moment to me is when the ball got stuck in the wall.
That was game 6, though. Yeah.
I know. That's one of the craziest things ever. We haven't even talked about that. What are the odds?
How about this?
Physically, that happened.
So much happened in this game, in Game 7, that we have not talked about the fact that the bench is cleared.
I got it.
In a Game 7. Yeah. Remember that happened when Andres Jimenez got hit?
That was
ridiculous. Also how John Schneider was so ticked off because Shohei Ohtani was getting extra time to warm up for pitches. I thought he was going to lose it at one point.
I think I know. I think it's the 18-inning game. That's the remember. But
then the Blue Jays took the lead in the series after that, though.
But that is, to me, the biggest moment of the game, though, because that was crazy. Remember they went 18 innings? It feels like a long time ago, but so much happened. That defined the rest of the series, too, because it sort of affected the pitching staff so much and affected the hitters. I don't know. I need a moment, though. Yamamoto was fantastic, but I'm not sure that's that one moment.
I think this is a series that's kind of one of one in that there are so many insane moments that you can't really make it about one thing. Because I even think about other sports. I know the other major sport being that's Game 7s that are hockey and basketball. But I think about Marc Messier's guarantee, or I think about LeBron's block. But there were those series I don't think had a lot of those great moments in the other games like that. I think those series were in many ways about one moment, even though they went 7 games.
Yeah.
Where this, I think you just can't describe it that way because there are too many storylines within one series. I don't think that makes it lesser than. It's just different.
Yeah.
I think maybe poll question, is this World Series, what's the shorthand? What do you call it? The Will Smith World Series, or is it the Yamamoto World Series? Honestly, the Miggy Rojas, he was in the middle of everything in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I would do more Yamamoto than Will Smith, but is it the one where they played 18 innings too? Maybe in 15 years they'll remember that.
I think it is determined by what the loser feels. And if I'm a Blue Jay fan today, it feels like the Miguel Rojas game. That's what it feels like to me. You're 2 outs away from the World Series. Your closer is on the mound. I know he's getting a bunch of homers, but your closer is on the mound. Joe Davis is writing the obituary for the Dodgers as the game is happening. And this guy hits, it was a hanging slider, but still, this guy who hasn't hit a home run since September, who hasn't hit a home run against righties all season, hits a home run with 2 outs away in the World Series.
It was like a line drive home run, too. It wasn't even like a deep towering. It was like you weren't even sure it was a home run right off the bat.
Yeah, to me, that's the thing. If I'm a Blue Jays fan, I sit with. Because everything else that happens afterwards, that's where the game is lost. You had the game right in your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, you had it right in your hands many times. 3 or 4 times. The guys colliding in the outfield, for God's sake.
I know.
The IKF slide with bases loaded.
Oh.
See, that's maybe a way why it's the Will Smith game, because he has the home run in 11, but he also has getting his cleat back on home plate in the ninth inning.
How about the Andy Pages game? Because I don't think Kike Hernandez is making that catch in the bottom of the 9th, 10th inning.
Yeah,
where they collided.
Kike Hernandez was going for like the over-the-shoulder Willie Mays.
Yeah.
And I also
Only Willie Mays can do the over-the-shoulder Willie Mays. And I love Kike Hernandez. He's a great guy to root for. He's always making winning plays.
And I don't think Tommy Edman, who's 5'10", is also making that catch either, who he just got subbed out of the game.
Yep,
I know.
Exactly. Again,
was it
Dave
2
Roberts,
batters before Dave Roberts put Andy Pages in center?
Just pressing the right buttons, Dave Roberts. I saw it. It was mid-inning as well.
Yeah, mid-inning.
We saw Edman coming out, Pages coming in. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They're making a defensive switch in the middle of the inning. And then sure enough, 2 batters later, Andy Pages with the biggest play on defense.
And they made the switch because of his arm strength. It had nothing to do even with his field. And they're like, because Edman's a good center field but doesn't have a strong arm, you got to have your strongest arm out there to potentially have to make a throw at the plate. And this guy makes an incredible catch, crashing into somebody because he's 6'2", and he's able to just sky over his own player.
But would the other guy have caught the ball?
I don't think so.
That was going to be that would have been one of the greatest catches I've ever seen if Kike makes that play.
Listen, he ended the game in Game 6 with running in. He said he would have gotten hit in the face with that ball if he lost in the lights, ends up making a running grab, and then gets a runner at second.
And by the way, if we're talking Philly, Dalton Varsho could have easily been the story on the other side. He's a monster in center field. That was a huge play.
That diving catch.
Oh, my God, that was incredible.
Saved 3 runs.
And how about all of a sudden Vlad is like the greatest, like Big Cat Galarraga.
How about a double and then get yourself with the sacrifice bunt into scoring position in the 11th inning?
I was talking the diving catch. It's like, where did that come from?
The Vlad diving catch in foul territory where he lays out like Superman? How?
Yeah, this was epic baseball this weekend.
We're just like naming things. That's how it
there's
went.
just so many moments from these last 2 games. It's just, the baseball was awesome.
So
sad it's over.
Game 6 getting doubled off in the 9th. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't get over. To me, it's just like the Blue Jays fans. Can you imagine being an 8-year-old kid staying up late, way past your bedtime to see this, and then don't come away with the win?
Did you guys see
I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Did you see any of the? Oh, that stinks forever. Believe me, I know. Also, the subway apparently wasn't working. Like after the game, so
the
all
TTC wasn't working.
So all of a sudden, all these Blue Jay fans were stranded.
Oh, that's not good.
They were angry.
Oh boy,
they were mad.
I had a friend. One of Andre's friends went to Game 6, and I said, I don't think I could have done that.
6 or 7?
6. Now you saw how 7 went, but like you go to that game thinking you're going to win the World Series, and not only do you lose that heartbreaker, you didn't lose Game 7. I couldn't imagine being in that stadium.
No, Pearl, you're saying 8-year-olds or something, like young fans. This stays with you. This becomes like part of your DNA.
Especially if you don't go back to the World Series for another 32 years.
All right. World Series calls. Let's go. Is this more heartbreaking for the Blue Jays or victorious for the Dodgers? How will you remember this World Series? Coming up next, J.J. McCarthy back on the field. How did it go? We'll tell you next.
All right, Maggie, if you want to move on to other sports, I'll tell you the best way to do it. It's with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is so much fun, especially in the fall when there's so many sports going on. Tonight, for example, on Prize Picks, you can pick whether Zach LaVine is going to get more or less than 22.5 points. I always go over from now on in Zach LaVine. You can get into hockey with Sidney Crosby. You can get, of course, into football with Dak Prescott, 268.5 pass yards. All you do is pick more or less on their projections, 2 players, and you can win big. You get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It is awesome.
Pearl, you know what starts tonight?
What?
College hoops. I'm surprised BYU against Villanova wasn't on your bingo card today. Kennard Davis, more than 8.5 points when BYU takes on Villanova. And how about put that together with a little Sidney Crosby? Got the Penguins and the Maple Leafs tonight. See how the Maple Leafs do to help their fans get over this one. 2.5 shots on goal. Let's go more than for Sid the Kid. This is just some of the fun that you can have on Prize Picks. It's available in more than 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Perloff and I were obsessed. The whole show, we're into it, and you can be too. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. You get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play just $5. Win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Now, my sports day is pretty full with football, NBA. We had a lot of baseball. I don't know if I can fit in a new sport, but I'm hearing this rumor that college basketball is underway.
It started. They're doing the 24 Field of 68 opening day marathon, and Andrew Bogish is here. We already have basketball that we can bet on this morning. It's 8:30 a.m.
You're late on Prize Picks because Winthrop and Queens University are already midway through the first half at Winthrop.
Hell yeah.
And Winthrop has a 19-16 lead, as you might expect.
Throw out the record books when those two get together.
Now,
Wow.
there is time to do your homework because at 11 a.m. Eastern, St. Bonaventure hosts Bradley.
Oh, here we go, Woj. The Fighting Wojs.
Let me correct myself. That's a neutral site game. That's in Rock Hill. That's following Queens and Winthrop.
Oh, watch out.
So they're all in one place.
The Fighting Wojs? Because Adrian Wojnarowski left ESPN.
Yeah, that's right, for his alma mater. Who is that? The Fighting Wojs against who?
The Bradley Braves.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, again, throw out the record books.
Yeah.
Patrick O'Brien's former team.
Yeah, then things get dicey. If you want to at 1 p.m., if you've got that itch, you've got Prairie View A&M hosting the College of Biblical Studies.
Okay.
Might need a prayer to beat that team.
Are you a dad?
Maybe.
Okay.
Wow. Are you religious?
Stephen
dad joke.
Stephen F. Austin is playing Millsaps. I don't know if that's Paul Millsaps or just Millsaps.
The whole family.
I hope it's Paul Millsap. That was awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on today.
Poor student body of these schools as well. We're just laughing at the name of their schools, and they're like, hey, I worked hard to get accepted into the school.
Yeah, meanwhile, I feel
into
like kids
Millsaps?
would kill to go to there, wherever it is. Where's Millsaps?
I don't know. It feels like an open door policy.
Don't worry,
you just
guys.
show up. We'll teach you something.
I've got the game streaming live on YouTube right now between Winthrop and Queens, so thank heavens we got live sports.
EJ, how could you go with Patrick O'Brien for Bradley? You know who went to Bradley. The man himself.
Bill Bradley?
Hersey Hawkins, former Sixer, former Seattle Supersonic, and the greatest Sonic team ever assembled. Anyone with me?
I feel bad that
NBA on NBC.
I feel bad I didn't know that, or I forgot that.
Yeah,
I know I love
the
90s
90s.
NBA. I forgot. I did not know he went to Bryant.
Because I admit I'm one of those people. 90s NBA means more than anything. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
It's back. We get the theme song.
It's not the
Everything's
same.
still the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. They had a. There's so many commercials for NBA during the NFL now. It's kind of weird. It's like because everybody has it, so everyone's running a commercial. And it started out great. It's like, all right, see the Lakers play the Warriors. And then I'm watching the game last night. It's like, all right, on Tuesday we got the Hawks and Clippers. Face it off.
That doesn't turn you on? Come
Yeah,
on.
Michael Jordan, dust him off. This college basketball slate, Bogues, you really could have had your pick here. Widener versus Drexel.
Widener's a local school to me. I knew Widener pretty well.
Johnson and Wales versus VMI. Isn't Johnson and Wales a cooking school?
It might be, and they play basketball.
You mean a culinary school?
Yeah,
the chef
cooking school. What is that?
Johnson and
Don't
Wales.
they stir the things in there?
Weren't you in the restaurant business?
Yeah, my parents actually used to give a scholarship for someone to go to culinary school too, and I still blew that.
the gray scholarship.
Mm-hmm. Listen, we're changing America's youth, everybody.
Oh yeah, changing lives in
One sous
Binghamton,
chef
New
at a
York.
time.
When does that kick in?
I think it actually ended.
Binghamton,
probably.
New York, as everybody knows, is a pot for future chefs.
Yeah,
Hope this isn't
the pipeline.
This isn't a Scott's Tots situation.
No, they actually gave them. No, my parents are actually on the lam.
Sorry, so I missed. Are there like real teams playing tonight?
There are a couple of real games tonight.
Something we can
just
watch?
Getting there. Yeah, these games will be on TV. There are a couple of good ones tonight.
Okay.
There are some.
Where? Midway University against Morehead State?
No, you gotta filter for ranked on rank. So you do have Florida, Arizona.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yes, and then that's a double header.
Buster.
The second game there, I believe, is Nova BYU.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. I got my prize.
So that's
going
AJ Dibance's debut.
Can't wait to see that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Finally.
What time does that tip off?
Roughly 9:30, depending on when game one ends.
Good luck to you.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals Cowboys is going to the fourth quarter because the Cardinals are always in it in a losing effort.
By the way, shout out to Perloff, who was totally on it that Kyler may get benched because he got
Yeah,
benched.
well, me and EJ were going back and forth about this the way the Cardinals handled that was really weird. They said that Kyler is practiced and ready to go, and then they were like, and QB1 will be at the press conference in 2 hours later. And then everyone said, you mean Kyler? They said, QB1. That was Jacoby.
And Kyler might be dressed tonight, but not start, but maybe play.
He's listed as questionable was the latest.
But I think Jacoby Brissett probably gives him a better chance to win right now, which is so odd. I don't know. It feels like it's over for Kyler Murray. Then again, who knows? The Cardinals, they're hard to predict.
What if Kyler Murray just went to go play baseball now? I mean, he got
Ooh, I
a
like
lot
it.
of money. What do you get? $120 million?
Kyler Murray, the shortstop for the Las Vegas Athletics.
Yeah, why not?
Do they still have his rights?
I'm pretty sure they do, yeah.
But that's kind of cool.
That'd be really interesting. You're assuming it just doesn't come back together this year?
No, I'm actually probably assuming that he goes somewhere else and flames out in one more team and then goes to baseball.
I don't think he could start next year anywhere. I don't know if anyone would take him.
Oh, there's someone that will take him.
I mean,
If the money's right,
Kyler Murray.
somebody will. Anyway,
I don't think he's well thought of because of his height.
and also his attitude. I think gets a lot of criticism.
Really? Still? I don't know. I feel like that's past, but I just feel like he has to drop back so far to see the field that I don't think he'll get another starting job. But we'll see.
The day ahead of the NFL trade deadline, the Eagles making another move. Now they are getting pass rusher Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins for a third-round pick. This is Philly's third trade in a week, already adding corners Jair Alexander and Michael Carter II. Elsewhere in the NFC East, the Commanders could not have had a worse Sunday night football.
Play fake to Walker. Darnold's going to roll. He's got his man. It's White. Breaks a tackle. Going down the far sidelines. He could go. He is in for a touchdown. Seahawks. Are you kidding me?
Steve Rabel on Seahawks radio. 60 yards to Cody White. It was Sam Darnold's fourth touchdown pass of the first half. He didn't throw his first incompletion until the third quarter. Now, before losing 38-14, the Commanders also lost Jaden Daniels to a major left elbow injury. It's reportedly a dislocation. X-rays last night negative. An MRI today. This could be the end of Daniel's season.
It was so gruesome that on SportsCenter this morning, they actually blurred his body after he fell. They showed the tackle, but then as he was falling down, they blurred everything, and that's how gruesome it was.
I went on
So if you're
YouTube and I
squeamish,
got a
don't look at
warning
it.
saying you have to be 18 and over to see this clip.
Really?
I mean, yeah, then I had to find another one where you didn't have to be 18 and over.
Then you just look somewhere else. Bro, you thought that he'd be able to come back.
I did
though,
see a
if they
bunch of
were-
doctors say because of where the injury was, and it's a dislocation, if they can pop it back in and without too much damage on the non-throwing hand, if they needed him, that's not necessarily 100% season ending, but they're already 3-6, so it's got to be season ending.
NFL Network says that it's better than they thought. So it might be multiple games, but not the whole season. But that's still pending MRI results.
Yeah, I mean it's not the throwing hand, but it's pretty gruesome. But that team gave up on the game from the first quarter on. That the defense is a problem, and they made Sam Darnold look like peak
Daniel Jones,
Steve Young. I don't even know. Is Sam Darnold that good, or am I in an alternate universe? By the way, because he'd be running around and avoiding sackers and hitting guys on a dime 30 yards downfield.
I think that the Commanders' defense had a little to do with that.
But he's been doing it all year, though.
Yeah, but we're talking about last night where it looked especially amazing in the first half. I mean, the Commanders' defense, not only are they old, they are injured, and they just felt they were completely out of position. And JSN has now had, 6 games with over 100 yards receiving? It's amazing.
So we've done the Eagles, we've done the Commanders. Now let's do the Giants, losing at home to the Niners yesterday, 34-24. More planes flew over the Meadowlands with banners asking John Mara to fire his head coach and GM, and Niner fans too loud during the game.
I think we got one of our false starts off of that, and then we kind of had to go to silent count from there, which you never really want to do at home, but part of it.
Nothing like the old silent count because the visiting fans are too loud. That was wide receiver Wandale Robinson.
Oh, yeah, things are great.
As we all hope, speaking of things going great, the Sixers sit atop the Eastern Conference this morning.
Maxey with 5 to Watford. Trendon fakes. Baseline drive cut off to the corner. Edwards. Up top Grimes. He'll get it off for 3. It's in the air. Good. What a play by the Sixers. Quentin Grimes knocks it out. And the lead is 23 with 7:50 to go.
That's Tom McGinnis on Sixers Radio. Philly cruising to a 129-105 win in Brooklyn, improving to 5-1. The Bulls dropped to 5-1 last night with a 128-116 loss at the Knicks.
That's right.
Joel Embiid did not play in Brooklyn last night, but he was fined $50,000 yesterday for his favorite lewd gesture. Embiid did his groin chopping salute Friday night in Boston. This is the 4th time at least that he has gotten in trouble for that move.
I'm not an Embiid guy, but come on, NBA, lighten up.
Also, if you can't spend your money paying fines for that when you've made $300 million, I mean, what do you even spend your money on?
Especially when you're doing it, getting all that money while rehabbing.
But also, how about Rico Dowdle?
Yeah, I was going to say 2 pumps.
The 2 pumps yesterday.
There are rules that are rules. The 2-pump rule, what happened to that?
Well, I thought it was supposed to be you don't get fined until, or you don't get the flag thrown unless it's 3 pumps.
That's what
3rd pump, you get the flag, and they threw the flag on 2 pumps. It was
they miscounted pumps.
Totally ridiculous
Premature, would you say?
No,
yes.
I think it just these referees a little too puritanical.
I think
Everyone knows 3 pumps
Yeah.
gets the whistle. 2 pumps, you're still good.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes 2 pumps
Spoken like
is
a
enough.
lady.
Sometimes 2 pumps is enough.
And you wonder why you're single.
Wow. Oh, no.
Sorry, man.
Wow.
You stepped me up for that one.
I'm in it for me.
Again.
I'm in this game for me.
And we get more evidence. Where's Mrs. Rodriguez? Where's the woman who's missing out on this? Anyway, the referees were not in concert with Rico Dowdle. And by the way, they accepted the penalty on the extra point, and the dude freaking missed it.
Because it was kicking from Nova Scotia.
Well, and there was like 50-mile-an-hour winds. And it didn't matter because the Panthers won the game anyway.
By the way, can we just talk about Rico Dowdle becoming Jim Brown randomly?
I was about to say, Maggie
Chuba
said,
Hubbard, just push him into a lake. Get him out.
We were saying the Packers. I can't believe the Packers lost 13-point favorites.
The Chuba Missile Crisis.
Panthers might be for real, like for real. Like that
Bills
defense.
just blew them out last week.
I don't know.
That was
They,
Andy Dalton. No offense to Pearl, but.
No,
well,
it was
even
James
that game,
Cook.
but they
James
were
Cook
moving.
ran for over 200 yards on them and sat out the whole 4th quarter.
You know, Dalton, even they were moving the ball against the Bills. Like that offense is, I don't know. And that defense of Derek Brown, I don't really know what happened against the Bills, but they might not be awful. I mean, they could certainly be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
EJ, weren't we doing this at the end of last season and Perloff wanted no part of this conversation?
I know, but then I saw basically Rico Dowdle win the job, and he's amazing.
To be fair, I do think Rico can't say his name.
Yeah.
makes them look different.
Yeah.
They look different with him out there. He's the best running back in the NFL.
But did they
named
not
Bijan
like they
Robinson.
platoon him against the Bills, for example? Like he's a beast. Jerry Jones knows what he's doing.
And the first guy to say this was Emmitt Smith, by the way. He said this on our show. He was like, the Cowboys have a great running back, and Rico Dowdle. We all looked at him like, what? And he was right. He's like, they just give him the ball, they will be fine. And now he's in Carolina again, running all over the NFC South, and now apparently the Packers.
Whatever happened to Miles Sanders?
Oh, he's the worst.
We'll see him tonight. Won't we?
No, isn't he?
Isn't he still on the Panthers?
thought he
Didn't he
got
sign a
hurt.
big
Miles
contract?
Sanders on the Cowboys, guys. Is he not? Isn't he Javonte Williams' backup, or did I have a stroke?
Yeah, no, he's in Dallas.
That's what he's doing now?
Yeah, thank
He
you.
also, I think, got hurt. Yeah, he's off for the season,
Yeah,
man.
he's out for
Come
the
on, wake
year.
up.
All right.
He's not a Panther anymore?
710-4 He's not at Penn State anymore?
Neither is Steve Smith.
Wait, you mean to tell me Christian Hackenberg is not at Penn State anymore?
This is in the Panthers moved off from Jake Delhomme.
Yeah. Musa Muhammad's questionable tonight, so stand by.
All right.
What about Luke Kuechly?
Riverboat Ron Rivera still calling plays. Okay, lots to do, including, we mentioned J.J. McCarthy back on the field yesterday facing the division rival Detroit Lions. How did it go? We've got that for you next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining.
Maya Leava.
30 seconds remaining.
Maya Leava. Maya Leava. Maya Leava.
Oh, people, I hate it
15 seconds.
so long.
Break ends in 5 seconds.
Trying to tell me Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle could not carry their team? No. There was no commitment to run the football. And when there was a commitment, when Dak Prescott went down, Rico ran the ball well. So don't tell me we can't run the football.
Man, that was Emmitt Smith talking to Perloff and I at the Super Bowl this year. He was upset. They let Rico Dowdle go, and now Dowdle looks like the best running back in the league, not named Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, or James Cook, I guess. Welcome back to the show.
So how about a certain guy in Philly you didn't mention?
Oh, yeah, Saquon. Even you say he's having a bad season.
Well, yeah, but that he just gave off a good game. But Yeah, he's legit. He's actually like kind of bigger and stronger than those guys. I'm like, none of those guys hold a handle. Bijan's the one thing about McCaffrey and Bijan, they're such good receivers. Now, EJ, you seem like a Rico Dowdle stan. Is he a good receiver? I haven't even noticed much.
Oh, he's had a few catches. I think it's more been the running game, but he's had a couple of receiving touchdowns. I mean, he saved my fantasy team, by the way. I was 0-3, and I picked this guy up just for the hell of it, and now I'm back to being 4-4, about to be 5-4. Shout out to Rico Dowdle. I should change my team name is the Maggie and Pearl offense, but I think I'm going to change it to the Fighting Rico Dowdles.
Yeah.
They deserve it. He deserves it more than us. Okay, so that was just one of the shocking results yesterday, Pearl, where the Packers were, did it close at 13.5?
It was definitely in that realm.
Last time I checked, it was there.
Yeah, two score favorite over the Carolina Panthers, and Panthers end up coming up big, and the Packers offense is completely stalled without Tucker Kraft in the lineup. And, Micah Parsons saw a steady diet of double teams and did not get one quarterback pressure on Bryce Young yesterday.
Well, he had a good point after the game. Micah Parsons said, we just held their quarterback to 102 yards passing. Like, it ain't on us. Like, basically, he had no chance because the Panthers didn't pass the ball. So when was he going to get these pressures and these plays? I don't want to hear excuses, but he had no chance to go because the Panthers are so conservative. By the way, the Jordan Love woke up finally at the end. That's why I'm not counting the Packers out, even without Tucker Kraft. Like you saw at the end, like, okay, when they needed to move the ball on offense, boom, like lightning. They had a great drive at the end. Until that, they were just messing around the whole game. It was really it felt like at halftime, I saw the Panthers put out this tweet. I think it was Julian Edelman said, the Packers are playing with their food. But I understand that. They get so conservative on offense, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, the Packers just are not a consistent football team. They aren't. I want them to be a lot more consistent than they are, Pearl. And it's losing to, the Carolina Panthers at home. It's losing to the Cleveland Browns on the road. I guess maybe that was a little more forgivable, that Browns team.
Same spread. It was 11.5.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they play down to their competition.
They do, for sure.
They can't get it going. Like, they have yet to put together a good full game, maybe outside of game one.
Well, I don't know
Detroit?
about that. They were pretty. You don't think they put together a full game against Pittsburgh?
No. Jordan Love was not good in the first half and then turned it on in the second half. Absolutely not. So
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
I don't think so. And it's funny because I got killed on the show and on social media when I said the Packers beating the Steelers did not prove to me that they are now Super Bowl contenders. And I got lit up for that. And you follow up that win with this kind of loss, I think shows that there's some real warts. I just don't think they have the firepower offensively to hang with other teams in the NFC.
I do. I think Jordan Love, even yesterday, Jordan Love made a bunch of throws. I'm like, ooh, that was pretty good.
Also threw into triple coverage and also should have had an interception in the end zone where he somehow
the drop
scrambled around for 20 seconds and threw it right to a Carolina Panthers defender with not a Packer in the shot.
I feel like this is more about LaFleur than Jordan Love. I think LaFleur is inconsistent. I think he just holds on too tight to that offense. I think they got to, maybe honestly, addition by subtraction, they're so dependent on Kraft too. Maybe they open it up here. Their run game maybe gets going. I just felt like they just were not sort of engaged in the right way against Carolina. I'm not counting them. I know they're favored against the Eagles next week. I mean, it does say Vegas still believes in them. They're 2.5. They opened at 2.5-point favorites. Like, it's a pretty good team. This was a weird game. Carolina might be better than we think.
Every NFL game in 60 seconds or less, including, as I've been teasing all morning, J.J. McCarthy's return to the starting lineup for the Minnesota Vikings. And could that now change what's going on in that crazy NFC North? It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Crowd is whipped into a frenzy. Mahomes in a shotgun. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Here's the snap. Pass rush coming. Mahomes retreating. Heaves it down the field. And it's knocked down and incomplete. And that's the ball game as the Bills escape with a 28-21 victory.
Thank you to the Bills Radio Network. A regular season win for the Bills over the Chiefs. Stop me if you've heard that one before, but Pearl, it has not meant anything when it comes to the postseason.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. I'm not going to say this game meant absolutely nothing, though, because to me, if the Bills are going to eventually vanquish the Chiefs, which there is no evidence to say that they will do such a thing, but if the tides turn and somehow Buffalo does eventually get through Kansas City in the postseason, they have such a better likelihood to do that at home, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
I know what you mean.
They need these wins, especially now with the Patriots continuing to win. They're at 7-2. The Colts lost yesterday, but they obviously are not a fluke. There's just a lot of competition here near the top of the AFC, even though the AFC is not that great this year. And the Bills need to stack wins if they're going to get the Chiefs at home to try to fulfill the destiny of Josh Allen, which is to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is for the Patriots to play nobody. I mean, the only team they play the Bucs, who are kind of beat up themselves, and then they get the Bills. But other than that, it's all the worst teams in the league come through New England. I don't think New England's going to be dangerous in the playoffs yet. I think next year they're going to be amazing, but they could steal home field away. I'm not worried about that. I think the AFC title game is going through Buffalo because Buffalo's schedule is also easy. So that you're right. I think that makes a big difference if Baltimore gets there. Baltimore's not going to win in Buffalo. Lamar can't play in the cold weather. All the stats prove that. I was killed for saying that last year, but it's definitely true. And then the Chiefs, do you really feel more comfortable in Buffalo or KC or anywhere? Because the Chiefs can win in cold weather. They've proven it many times. They can win in Buffalo. We'll see what the Chiefs are. The Chiefs were limping around on the offensive line a lot last night. When the Chiefs lose, it means it's always the same thing. It's their offensive line falls apart. Last night, it was a disaster. You were mad because they didn't go for the touchdown at the end of the first half. It's because their offensive line was getting no push in the run game. There was basically Mahomes try and freelance and make a play, and that wasn't happening yesterday.
Yeah, it was, I thought, a huge moment in the game, even though it happened in the first half. It was at the very end of the first half, and at 4th and 1, you're at the goal line, and Andy Reid decided to kick a field goal. And
the problem with me was the first run play, you're running out of time, and you have one timeout left, and you run it into the line. Like, what did you expect was happening? That was a bad play call right there.
Well, it worked later in the fourth quarter when Kareem Hunt ran through the Bills' defensive line for a touchdown.
But it wasn't the same clock situation.
That's fine, and that's true, but you're telling me you have one of the most creative offensive head coaches in the NFL. You have Patrick Mahomes. You have all of your offensive guys, at least your skill position guys, are healthy, and every team in the NFL, I think, would have gone for that on a 4th and 1.
No, I don't think so. It's a different situation. It's 4th and 1 with the time running out. It's your last play. One of the reasons you go for it is because you pin the other team down at the 1-yard line. That advantage is gone. They were getting the ball back. They were starting to move the ball back on offense. If they'd gone for it, I'm telling you right now, there was an 80% chance they weren't getting it. They weren't even close on the 3 previous plays. And in fact, all night long, I don't know how, but the receivers were covered the entire night. Patrick Mahomes was under 15 for 34. There was nothing easy. He would drop back again and again and again and not see anybody, and then the pressure would get to him.
The pressure would, but they still, like classic Mahomes fashion, how many times? I think 3 different times he found Travis Kelce, including for, I believe Kelce was the 2-point conversion after the Kareem Hunt touchdown, but the 4th and 17, every time they needed that big chunk. And I was actually really surprised on the Hail Mary attempt. There were 2 Hail Mary attempts, really. On the last one you just heard we played on from Bills radio, the Bills actually rushed 5. Oh, my gosh. Shock. This is from Bill Barnwell, okay? So Bill Barnwell writes about NFL for ESPN and is very stats-driven. And we know the teams have access to all this stuff. So according to the Next Gen stats, with Andy Reid, Pearl, kicking that field goal at the end of the first half as opposed to going for it on 4th and 1, Next Gen had kicking the field goal versus attempting to go for it as a minus 7.5% win probability swing for the Chiefs. Now, you're like, Maggie, minus 7.5% win probability, that's nothing. Guys, teams make decisions on like 1.5% win probability. So 7.5% is actually massive. So I was surprised from the eye test and from the numbers.
Oh, God, the eye test. The eye test was KC just like, get off this field. There is no way they were converting. I'm going to say that right now. Like, those plays were so ugly. I don't even know what to make of. Honestly, they need a new running back. I'm sorry. Kareem Hunt, this is 2025. Are we really doing this? Is this their best option?
Well, Pacheco was hurt last night, so he wasn't playing.
Pacheco's even worse. I mean, Pacheco should not be your starting running back either. I worry about that run game, especially if the O-line's going to be limping around. So that's my concern with the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs finally get their receiving game all straight, and now the offensive line looks bad. I'm a little worried about them, but again, come playoff time, if Mahomes gets to Buffalo in the AFC title game, I am betting on Kansas City.
5-4 now for the Chiefs, 0-4 in one-score games. Next up at Denver, and then home for the Colts. Let's get to the NFL in 60.
Maggie and Perloff take you around the league, recapping this weekend's football action. Time for NFL in 60.
Just a quick programming note. We will go back to talking about the World Series at the bottom of the hour. Brian Kenny is going to join us from MLB Network. So just a heads up there. And we'll be playing Japanese highlights till the end of time. All right, EJ, who's our first game?
All right, earlier in the year, Cam Ward gave us We Ass. Now we have Chase Brown finish the effing game. Bears beat the Bengals 47-42 after the Bengals give up a long touchdown to finish this one.
Yeah, to me, I'll go on the Bears side. Ben Johnson is sort of forming the team in his fashion. 283 rushing yards. After the game, he's Dan Campbell crazy. I don't know if you guys saw his post-game press conference. Luckily for them, they got out of there with a win. They should have won that game in regulation easily. I took away, I know all the attention went to Flacco coming up with loss, but the Bears are playing the way they kind of Ben Johnson wants them to.
Yeah, they had some trick plays and stuff, kind of leaving Caleb Williams out a little exposed. I thought was a little bit odd, but the Williams to Loveland, Colston Loveland, the 58-yard touchdown with 17 seconds left to go. That was the Bengals' big defensive letdown, but Perloff,
one of them.
But think about this: how many people have maligned the Bears for not taking Ty Warren and taking Loveland? And he actually had a big game yesterday. But Flacco was the story. We have to figure out a category to put Joe Flacco into because he's not a Hall of Famer. But the guy threw for 470 yards yesterday. He's 41 years old and talking about how he likes to eat dinner alone now. Like, where do we put this dude? It's like not Vinny Testaverde exactly off the couch. I don't know what to do with Flacco. He needs a new lane. Old awesome guy.
All right, let's go to Detroit, where J.J. proved, just like at Michigan, he just wins. Vikings beat the Lions 27-24, and J.J. McCarthy's returned to the lineup.
Yeah, very interested to see how McCarthy would do in this game, considering we all believed he was kind of shadow benched because he took forever to come back from an ankle sprain. And when they needed him, 3rd and 5 with a minute 41 to go, up 3 points, a beautiful back shoulder throw to Jalen Nailor, and that was the nail in the coffin. The Vikings defense, though, Pearl, to me, was actually more of the story than even McCarthy because they had Goff under pressure all day.
How did that happen? Why did the Vikings look like the Denver Broncos and just destroy Jared Goff from the get-go? That was what my shocking thing. We had been talking about the Vikings defensive line coming into that one. Yeah, the thing is, they're still 4-4. It's going to be really hard to sneak into the playoffs in the NFC. It's going to be so competitive for those wild card spots.
A crushing loss for the Packers. They did lose Tucker Kraft to a knee injury. Panthers go into Lambeau and pull off the massive upset 16-13.
I'm starting to ask questions about Matt LaFleur. That kind of home loss to a team like the Panthers, who are probably better than we think. Still, he just does not have a consistent plan or message. Like, what is the identity of the Packers? They want to be a run team, but their run game is incredibly inconsistent. They want to let Jordan Love cook when they need to, but then, I don't know, he just misses plays. I see this as a coaching failure. I'm really worried about that guy. I feel like they have a ceiling with him. He's a good coach, no doubt, but it feels a little bit like Sean McDermott in Buffalo to me.
I mean, they were 1 for 5 in the red zone. I know you lose Tucker Kraft, but you've got other weapons. I mean, you got Josh Jacobs, you've got Romeo Doubs. This was shocking. And to me, Carolina, I think they took this personally. They got their butts kicked last week against Buffalo. They let James Cook run all over them. And I think they were selling out to stop the run, and there were not enough explosive plays from Jordan Love to the rest of his receivers, and especially when Kraft is out. Think about this. Romeo Doubs, 7 catches, 91 yards. Christian Watson, 58 yards on 2 receptions. They were actually getting guys involved. It just, without Matthew Golden, without Jaden Reed, and without Tucker Kraft, it was curtains.
Sometimes you can avoid charging but still lose the war. Chargers beat the Titans 27-20 but lose all-world tackle Joe Alt to an injury.
I mean, if we keeping the buck right now, we ass.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Chargers to me, like, this one did not look as pretty but Justin Herbert felt like he kind of took that game over at the end. Justin Herbert, I've been kind of a naysayer of his, Pearl, because when it comes to the postseason, he's had some major flops. But I think this year he's been like the dude at the end of games. So my bigger takeaway was about how Justin Herbert would not let them Charger this game away.
Well, yeah, I mean, my takeaway is Joe Alt, they pulled the card on. I know it's a high ankle sprain, but this feels really bad. And without Rashawn Slater, who was lost in the preseason, I think you immediately lower the expectations. Depends. I guess they'll probably say something today about how severe it is.
So that's why the Falcons cut Parker Romo. The Patriots cut Parker Romo. Parker Romo misses an extra point that allows New England Patriots to hang on in Foxborough over the Falcons 24-23.
What a great game, by the way.
Oh, my God. Now if you're a Falcons fan.
Drake London invented high pointing in this game. This is Penix. Penix once again had some great plays and missed some things as well. This was awesome. Credit to the Patriots for pulling it out, but Parker Romo, you kind of saw it coming too, right, Maggie? Because this is who the Falcons are.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, is there any bigger tease in all of professional sports than the Atlanta Falcons? Like, I root for a hard luck franchise, and I still can't imagine being a Falcons fan. You'd have to pull your hair out. They should have won this game, Pearl. And it would have put a stop to this Patriots. Now they've won 6 in a row. Drake May throws a bad pick. He got sacked 6 times in this game. And this offense, this amazing offense for Atlanta, just could not come up with a score when they needed it. That was disappointing from the Falcons.
Wow. I mean, listen, if you're a football fan in Atlanta, at least you held off Florida. I mean, I don't know.
That's a great point.
Inside that stadium, they certainly seem diehard Falcons fans, but I don't know. You say, if you're a Falcons fan, where do you turn at this point? It's been so many years of 7 or 8 wins in a row, and this year's going to be exactly the same.
The 49ers made it look like it was on easy mode when they traveled to MetLife Stadium. 34 points and 25 first downs against the Giant defense. They beat the Giants 34-24.
We were talking, by the way, about Sam Darnold was 15 for 15 in the first half. Mac Jones went a long time without throwing. 14 for 14. He looks amazing. I know it's against the Giants, but are we having a conversation again about Mac Jones versus Brock Purdy?
Oh, that's interesting. Hey, listen, what are you going to do? The team's up 2 scores right away. Before you could blink, the 49ers are up 2 scores. Christian McCaffrey had all things going. But I thought Jackson Dart was still really good in the game. That's why I don't understand why people want Brian Daboll gone and Joe Shane not gone. Like, Joe Shane, the GM is the one who's got to go. I don't know if I see as Daboll's got to go.
Well,
the head coach.
Yeah. So wait, you're saying that Shane should go and not Daboll?
I'm going to say listen, you probably are going to fire both if you're going to fire either of them because they were a package deal coming in. But I think that the GM has done a worse job than the head coach has. But listen, the coach's his record speaks for itself. Is bad.
Bo Nix does it again despite 3 difficult.
Boo Nix.
Boo Nix. Right. Sorry about that. Boo Nix this weekend. After 3 rough quarters, the Broncos score 11 unanswered in the 4th to come back and beat the Texans 18-15. CJ Stroud goes out in this game with a concussion.
And much like Perloff's Boo Nix Halloween costume from Friday, which was inspired, Pearl, you put that costume on for the last segment of the show, and this is so true to form because Bo Nix only comes alive in the 4th quarter of these games. They outscored Houston 11-0 in that final quarter, and it was the Bo Nix, a 25-yard scramble on a 2nd and 7 that really set up the final magic there. And for Denver, this is becoming their MO. This is who they are.
I learned something great in this game, and you guys might already know this. I'm trying to. Do you guys know why Woody Marks is called Woody Marks?
Why is Woody Marks called Woody Marks?
Every year for Halloween as a kid, he dressed up as Woody from Toy Story. And his real name is Jaquavius, and somebody couldn't pronounce his name, so the mom said, just call him Woody because he loves Woody. That's awesome. And
that's a model of consistency. The same Halloween costume
and they had
year
a picture
after
of
year?
They had a picture of it. He was so cute as Woody. He just had to be Woody every year. So that's how he got the name Woody Marks. Texans are very hard to watch on offense, by the way.
Jaquavius, Woody, same.
From Indiana Jones to Davy Jones, Daniel Jones's 5 turnovers certainly haunted the Colts as they lost to the Steelers 27-20 in Pittsburgh.
Obviously Daniel Jones wears it on this one, the 3 interceptions and multiple fumbles. But how about Jonathan Taylor? Maybe these things go hand in hand, Pearl, because the Steelers kept scoring off of these Colts turnovers, 57 yards from scrimmage. After all that MVP buzz last week, pardon me, only 57 yards from scrimmage, and obviously it shows when you can't run the ball, Daniel Jones becomes pretty easy target.
By the way, Daniel Jones still threw for 342 yards. I mean, he was throwing. That guy makes some plays, but he was at the end of the game. He was trying to force it, and that was a death knell for them.
Let's go to the 4 o'clock window, where, as Hermit was said, you play to win the game, but sometimes by doing that, you actually lose the game. Raiders lose to the Jaguars at home 30-29 after going it for 2 in overtime.
So the funny thing, it was a 10-minute overtime.
You play to win the game.
It was 10-minute overtime. The Jags took almost the entire overtime period on their go-ahead drive.
Yep.
So the Raiders were kind of rushed. They did get to the end zone. I guess there was no doubt they were going for 2. Listen, they were 2-5. What's the point of getting a tie? It still felt like that was over in a heartbeat. Like, oh, they got back. Boom. It was a very flat feeling for me to watch them fail that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and the ball got batted down, so it's not even like there was a play made. And this game was 6-3 at halftime and 9-6 after the third quarter. Then touchdown, field goal, end of the half, and then both teams score in overtime. But to be honest, like, the best unit on the field is, even despite giving up those touchdowns in the fourth quarter, the best unit on the field is the Jags defense. They might not be a fluke, Pearls, all the takeaways, but unfortunately, big loss with Travis Hunter going on IR after suffering an injury in practice last week.
Is it really a big loss, though? Well, sadly.
I mean,
like, what's it impact? The offense or the defense?
Good question.
Also, by the way, and you said this on Friday, like, man, the Raiders are a different team with Brock Bowers on the field. That is the offense. He's got to be the most valuable non-quarterback to their team. Like, they are just a totally different team with him.
Tyler Shuck takes an L in his first career start in Los Angeles. Rams win an easy one, 34-10 over the Saints.
Yeah, did I watch this game? Not so much. I mean, that was it over like 13 seconds in? Devontae Adams is that guy going to age? Remember, I always say 30-year-old wide receivers hit a wall. He's still amazing. I felt like he could have had even more touchdowns in this game. Not much to say. The Rams just keep on slugging along, playing nobody. We'll see. The Saints, I love that. I don't know why they took Tyler Shuck in the second round, because they are all about the quarterback next year.
Yeah, this was a laugher from the very beginning. I mean, you had the Dodgers win the World Series on Saturday night, and then Rams just with a, easy win on Sunday. And the Chargers also won, so USC also won. So everything coming up LA this weekend. Matthew Stafford, according to Stats and Info, 4th player in NFL history to have 20-plus passing touchdowns and 2 or fewer interceptions in their team's first 8 games of the season, joining Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady. You called it a couple years ago, Pearl, Matthew Stafford, a Hall of Famer. No doubter now.
And it was a masterclass from Sam Darnold on JSN as they easily beat the Commanders in Washington 38-14. Commanders suffer a massive injury with Jaden Daniels going out with a dislocated elbow.
Such a letdown game here from Washington. I mean, Seattle came in and absolutely shoved these guys around, Pearl. That was like the best functioning offense I feel like I've ever seen. Was it Clint Kubiak was their offensive coordinator? And Darnold looked amazing in the throwback Seahawks jerseys, which were just sick. And the Commanders, this is like the obvious regression season, but I didn't think it would happen this fast, this swift. I thought they would still be like an in-the-hunt playoff contender, but with Jaden Daniels now hurt, their defense is old and ineffective.
You know who I think is a symbol of their futility this year? I think it's going to be Terry McLaurin, who held out and then it's not there. Basically, this happens. It's a little different than, say, Brandon Ayuk with San Francisco, because McLaurin's older. Like, he's like, I need this money, and now he's just not on the field for them. And he would change their offense a lot, but it was the defense. Sam Darnold looked like he was playing a video game. It was so easy for him, doing his reads, and I knew coming in it was going to be a Sam Darnold love fest, and it really was.
Okay, there you go. That's your NFL in 60. We will get back to the World Series in just a moment. Brian Kenny from MLB Network will put this whole thing in perspective for us. Did we just watch one of the greatest, if not the greatest, World Series of all time? We'll do that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. It's funny, there's a lot of NASCAR talk in the bullpen today.
You guys don't usually talk about race car driving.
Well,
what changed this weekend?
There's superfan Sydney Sweeney was in the crowd, dressed appropriately for her.
Appropriately.
God bless.
That's a loose term.
When your jacket's longer than your shorts, how would you describe that?
Memorable.
Yeah, what is she got? She's everywhere now. I mean, is it just me, or is she becoming a little overexposed?
Well,
no pun intended.
When you're
I was going to say, I saw the other dress. She was definitely exposed.
Yeah, when you're on WFAN with Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata and you're Sydney Sweeney, you may be overexposed.
Did you know Sydney Sweeney was on our sister station across the hall last week?
Did I not come running to tell you guys this? So, I mean,
I didn't know. No one told me.
I was indirectly involved in this because she was coming on. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but it was at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
And the last thing I do before I leave here is the
at
1
9
o'clock.
a.m.
That's you guys. At 1 p.m., I do the sports update on WFAN. And the producer of their show came to me and said, hey, we might come to you early, or would you mind recording the update? Because we have Sydney Sweeney on.
Wow.
And I asked 3 different people to confirm because it made 0 sense.
Did you get a glimpse of her?
No, it was on the phone.
Oh.
Did you know it was on the phone? Because your first question must
I
have
knew
been.
from the beginning it was on the phone.
Oh.
So immediate disappointment.
Premature.
Yeah.
Also, Sydney Sweeney on the phone does nothing for nobody.
Exactly.
I will quit.
Would anybody here have hung out in the studio if Sydney Sweeney was coming in at 1 p.m. Eastern?
Manny was.
Are you guys drunk? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, here's a question. Would you have hung around more for Sydney?
7 p.m.
Honestly, what else is Manny doing?
Would you hang out more for Sydney Sweeney or Jalen Brunson?
Oh, Jalen Brunson, they'd camp out.
What was that?
Who would you hang out more for, Sydney Sweeney or Jalen Brunson?
Oh, the King of New York. No, that's not even a question. I'm insulted you even asked me that. Jalen Brunson.
They'd pitch tents in the newsroom if Jalen Brunson was coming.
No, Manny would. Do you think the average guy out there
definitely would
wait for Jalen Brunson?
Calm down. Calm down.
I meant like a shelter.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yep.
Anywho.
I would, yes, I would like, if I were in Shashevskyville.
Also, yes.
Yes, I would pitch a tent. Like,
Yeah, but
this
you'd
is
be
the
alone for
midnight
Jalen
drop
Brunson.
of a GameStop.
You'd literally be the only person out there for Jalen Brunson. The entire newsroom and 10-10 wins across the street at CBS News, the entire male population would have been over here for that.
And I would have been first in line.
You know, she's single. Are the rumors out there?
Oh, yeah. Score one for Manny. I'm on my way. I'm going to slide in those DMs.
No, you could have met. Well, you can't meet her in person. You probably could have. You could have bribed Pete Hoffman to pick up the phone.
I asked that.
You're like, hey, give me $10 and I'll pick up the phone for Sydney Sweeney. Yeah.
That sometimes doesn't work out the way you think it will. Because I once asked Dan Patrick if I could pick up the phone for Mike Schmidt. And I said, hi, Mr. Schmidt. My name's Andrew. I was a huge fan as a kid. Is Dan there?
Oh,
man.
Wait a minute. You crush me all the time for calling people legends and making them feel old. You just said, I loved you as a kid to Mike Schmidt?
It didn't matter. I could have said it. I don't even remember exactly what I said. He was not listening.
He's
like, is this Dan? Hey, is this Dan? If not, then I don't want to talk to you.
Or maybe he thought you were Dan, and maybe that's why he was confused. No?
No, he had no time for young Andrew Perloff. No, he was just one of those guys straight to business. It happens a lot when you pick up the phone where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a great conversation with this potential guest, and then they don't turn it on until they get on the air. They're like completely like, okay. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here. You and your crew, you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then where were you 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, I know. I've had that happen with 2 different people. And the only thing that mattered was the interview went really well. So
Yeah.
I don't care that they didn't want to chit-chat it up with me beforehand. But one was Dion.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Dion did not want to chit-chat at all before the interview. Then the cameras turned on and he was exactly what you thought. He was excellent. And so I appreciated that. And the other one was Marlon Wayans.
No.
Marlon Wayans wanted to do
Wayans?
no chit-chat before, totally fine. And then all of a sudden the camera started rolling and he was A-list Hollywood, like hilarious.
That is such an odd feeling, though, because I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, a lot of times you meet these celebrities at Celebrity Row for the Super Bowl, and they're usually nice there.
Yeah. When they're turning it on, turn it up. Okay, let's turn our attention back to the World Series, shall we? Plenty of stars there, including Sidney Sweeney, turned out for one of those Dodger games. I think I remember that correctly. And let's welcome in Brian Kenny from MLB Network. Brian, thanks so much for the time, man. What a series. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Brian, you still there?
Yes, hello.
Okay. Sorry, I thought it cut out for a second. All right, we're trying to put this whole series in perspective, and I think a lot of questions you're going to get asked is we're not trying to be prisoners of the moment or anything, but we feel like we just watched something historic. How are you putting this World Series and maybe specifically Game 6 and 7 into context in terms of the greatest of all time?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm not automatic, especially today's media. It seems like this is the greatest ever, and this is the we've never seen anything like this, and it's not true. And yet, you don't want to underrate it. So, like, I was thinking about it on my drive home. I drove home from Buffalo last night, and I'm going over in my head. It's up there. It's in that inner circle, just by the very virtue of it goes to extra innings in Game 7. But recent vintage, I think Cubs Indians 2016 was tremendous series. 2011 Cardinals Rangers. 2001 Diamondbacks Yankees, even though I think we all feel differently if the Yankees had won that one. Twins Braves might still be the all-time in 1991. That's one where it goes 12 innings in Game 3. It was went extra innings. That's obviously the shutout from Jack Morris over John Smoltz in Game 7. Mets Red Sox 86, Big Red Machine Red Sox 75, and that's about as far as I go. Then you start getting into, olden stuff, but maybe 1968, Bob Gibson, Mickey Lolich in a Game 7. That's like my short list in my lifetime.
Brian, of course, you're very analytical. How do you reconcile with the numbers and analytics with it's such a game of inches. There's so many little plays that really you can't divine, could go one way or the other. When you look at that series, like, how do you wrap your head around about actually how close it is and how few plays it actually came down to?
Right. Well, it is. It's competition. It's a physical game. We use the numbers as evidence to try to give it meaning. Much like in life. It's like, wait, you try to see patterns emerging, try to see what's the best thing to do because you can get caught up in emotions. If I'm looking at it analytically, the things that stand out to me are the intentional walk to Ohtani in Game 6. Right? You didn't have to do that. These are the things you can control. You don't. You can't control most things. You can control some things. You can control not putting a guy on base, and you can control not giving away an out. So intentionally walking Ohtani when Kevin Gausman struck out 7 of 9, I thought was a big mistake, and I thought it at the time while they were doing it. Now, there was also the bunt when Vladimir Guerrero in the 10th inning or 11th inning, Vladimir Guerrero leads off with a double, and they bunted him over. I thought that was a mistake. It felt good at the time, right? This is why you have to try to check your numbers and try to see, hey, wait, is this the best decision? It feels good to get him at third, but you've given away an out. And the way I look at it, that's how I would look at it analytically. Andy Pages, being put into the game, a late replacement, that's just smart. He makes this incredible play. They don't win unless they put Miguel Rojas, who hadn't started in 3 weeks, in Game 6. And that's, play. One of my maxims this year on MLB Now was play your baseball-y team, meaning play your defensive team, your base-running team. You can get caught up in, this guy can hit, this guy can do that. And obviously, offense takes precedence, but play your defensive team, in big games, and that's what the Dodgers did. So those are 3 things that stand out to me that you can control. The rest of it, right, it's all hell breaking loose.
Brian Kenny joining us, MLB Network host, MLB Now, fresh off of this incredible series that we all just witnessed. I guess, Brian, if you're there, you're watching, you're in person, of all the plays that just made your jaw drop, right? Of all the plays that maybe got the biggest response, maybe from the crowd, or you felt the electricity going through the crowd, what was 1 or 2 of those plays?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that, because that's a good question, because I had goosebumps a few times. And one time I was actually watching up, and I'm up the first base line, so I had a good look at Addison Barger's throw to the plate to get Freddie Freeman. And it was just like this thunderbolt from on high. It really was, like, you talk about the physical game and then, the analytics of it all. that to me was just thrilling, where my quick read, and my read is usually pretty good on the field, how hard is the ball hit? Where is the runner going? Is he going to score? Should you send him? I really thought there was no way Barger would get him at the plate. And to see that thrown on a fly with, Freeman at the last second saying, where did that ball come from? How is that in that guy's glove right now? To me was just like a thrilling moment in sports. And it's like watching, again, I saw these things more on tape, on film in the old days of Al Kaline and Roberto Clemente throwing guys out at the plate and thinking, wow, we just don't do that anymore. And that was that feeling like, wow, that was something special.
Brian, what about Shohei Ohtani? How would you summarize his series? Was he a little worn out by the end, or were you impressed by everything he could do? I mean, there's no precedent for this, but I feel like some fans were a little let down that he wasn't the ultimate hero for the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's superhuman, and yet that was my take, is that people were getting all caught up in, we must walk this guy. You must, he has that 4-for-4 game, and they start intentionally walk him. He had a tremendous series. He slugged over 600 at least going into Game 7. He pitches twice. It is unprecedented. It's Babe Ruth did it briefly for the Red Sox, but in the modern game, live ball baseball, it hasn't been done. So it's fantastic. But again, his hitting is top 5 in the league in all of baseball. He's probably the second best hitter in the game. He's also pitching at a high level. What he did against the Brewers was one of the top probably 5 or 6 postseason performances. But again, not to be negative, but he's the walking of him, how everyone got caught up in that. Even the Blue Jays, I thought that's a mistake. If you're at Babe Ruth in his late 20s or Barry Bonds in his late 30s, yeah, walk that guy. He's got a 600 on base. He's slugging 800, but that's not Ohtani. And getting worn down, yeah, that's part of it. That's why they slow played him this year, and they're really going to have to be very mindful of how they utilize him moving forward. I think you can cook the golden goose. He's missed a lot of years to injury, at least pitching-wise, and they need to be careful as he ages.
Brian Kenny is joining us, MLB Network, of course, host MLB Now. We're talking about this incredible World Series that we all just witnessed. And, Brian, for people who have the criticism of the Dodgers, and I was, didn't love Ohtani deferring all that money because it kind of felt like a cheat code that the Dodgers probably didn't need anyway. They're a high payroll team to begin with. And obviously, it led the way for them to get Yoshinobu Yamamoto and give him $300+ million and kind of just continue to stack this all-star team. What do you make of that criticism of people think the Dodgers bought this dynasty or whatever this is?
Yeah, I think you can start to call it whatever, a modern version of a dynasty. I know what you're saying, but I think their legacy was pretty much on the line. Winning back-to-back and 3 out of 6 puts them in a category of, Bronx Zoo, Yankees, Big Red Machine, Reggie Jackson A's, Al Bando A's. That puts them in that group. So I think, it's as close to a dynasty as we're going to see. The other part is, spending money is, the competitive advantage that's old as baseball itself. The first professional baseball team was the Cincinnati Red Stockings, and they did something to give themselves a competitive advantage. You know what they did? They paid their players. The first time that players were paid, because before then you had really good players. You tried to lure them into your town and play for your team. The Red Stockings said, "Yeah, we're gonna have uniforms. We're gonna play in one spot. We're gonna pay. We're gonna pay for these guys, and we're gonna sign them to contracts. We're gonna keep them here." They went 57-0. So that's your lesson: pay your players.
Did they defer all that money too?
I don't think there was like $500. I don't think they had to defer any of it. Look, they gained the system to a certain degree. The luxury tax threshold has been here for a few years. It was done to slow down the Yankees, right? Runaway train Steinbrenner Yankees, and it hasn't slowed down certain teams. So yeah, they're playing hedge fund baseball. They're doing they're doing everything well. But I understand teams, anybody thinking, wait, break up the Dodgers. But we've been doing that for years now. And look, they spend money. So do the Mets. So do the Yankees. So do the Phillies. They've been the best at it.
Brian, we're on in several places in Canada. Is there anything you can say to cheer up Blue Jays fans and maybe looking ahead for this team that was so close?
Well, I think they flung their window open when they signed Vlad Jr., and he's done everything. He's exceeded expectations. Everything a superstar, your big money foundation superstar is supposed to be. Now they have to deal with Bo Bichette, but they kept their winning window open, and that was a terrific team. It was fun to watch. I've never felt a city get quieter than I did on that Game 7. So I just drove out of there yesterday. It did feel depressed leaving Toronto. It was quiet all night. You know how when you're in a hotel room, you have to put on that noise machine on your phone? I did not have to do that. I told my wife, I said, we don't need that. It's quiet. It was quiet all night. It was quiet the next day driving out. So yeah, they really feel it. I felt terrible for them. But they're a really good team. And I've made this point too. They've been winning, 90, 91-ish games for the last 5 years. They had one bad season. So they're in it to win it. We don't see them at that level of Yankees, Phillies, Dodgers, but they're in that circle, and I think they crashed through this year.
Brian, I mean, do the Blue Jays, should they feel like they kind of blew this series? I mean, after the 18-inning game, to come back, to take the lead in the series, to have the 2 games at home. I know we're trying to make the Blue Jays fans feel better, but did they blow this series?
That's not doing it. Yeah, that's not doing it. Yeah, that's part of the pain of it, is you can't get it back, right? You know it at the moment. You can't. They might go on to win. Look, the Kansas City Royals lost in a Game 7. They devoted themselves to coming back the next year, and they won it, but it's a long way back. I mentioned the 2001 Yankees. Remember, when the Yankees lost that series, I thought that's not the way it was supposed to happen. But that's it. It's done. I know a lot of guys who were with the Cleveland Indians in '97. John Hart, the GM, Dan O'Dowd, who was with the front office, Jim Thome, who was on that club, and they all talk about that one that got away, losing to the Marlins in a Game 7 where they had the lead in the 9th. That's part of it. The zero sum of baseball is that you lose that, you can't get that back. So yeah, I felt like they had that going back to Toronto. It's like you just have to win one, and then they were coming back in Game 6, and then you spent the whole night in Game 7 thinking they were going to win, at least expecting it. So yeah, they didn't blow it, but man, it's to have that so close, so many ways, and a lead in the 9th. There's no getting that back.
Well, Brian, it's going to be awesome stuff for you guys to talk about all off season. Not to mention, we're going to be right into it with Hot Stove happening and all the awards that are going to be. They're already starting to give them out now. So lots of cool things for MLB Network, but we're locked in all the time anyway. Thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
All right. Great talking to you guys. Thank you.
Also, driving back from Buffalo, what a hero. People think that's close by New York. It is not.
No, it ain't. He should have taken the Amtrak. That's what he should have done.
Yeah, the Manny Oregon
Trail. The Manny
Express.
Nothing
express about that thing.
I could feel the quiet when he was describing it in Toronto. Can you imagine how somber that must have been last night? Oh, I feel terrible. Am I the kind of sports fan who feels worse for the loser than happy for the winner? And remember, I tried to claim a quasi-Dodger fandom.
As he wears the Phillies hat. I love it. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Whew. Okay, lots more to wrap up on the World Series. And, of course, the one NFL game we did not get to yet. We'll do that next. MVP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie, great. Andrew Perloff. If you missed our interview with Brian Kenny from MLB Network, encourage everyone to check out the Maggie and Perloff podcast where you can get your pods, and 5-star review always helps us, and it's a small thing, but it goes a long way. Also, the free Odyssey app, you can hit the rewind function. Andrew Bogish has some more headlines for us. What's up, Bogues?
Guys, they ended last week by losing to the Ravens and then firing their GM. Now the Dolphins may be starting their sell-off ahead of tomorrow's trade deadline. Linebacker Jalen Phillips reportedly on his way to the Eagles for a third-round pick. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Waddle, among the other players Miami reportedly getting calls about. Maybe it's just for a few weeks. Maybe it is season-ending. Jaden Daniels suffered a nasty apparent left elbow dislocation in the fourth quarter of Sunday Night Football. The Commanders still had their QB in the game, running for a touchdown, down 31 to the Seahawks. Dan Quinn's team losing its fourth in a row, 38-14 to Seattle.
To know that we, off course and don't have our football aligned like we want, it's frustrating, it's disappointing, it's all those emotions like I said, we're going to get to the bottom of dig ourselves out of it.
Dig themselves out of a 3-6 hole without, for some point of time, their best player. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold threw 4 touchdowns before his first incompletion. His Seahawks are now 6-2. They stay even with the Rams atop the NFC West. The latest college coach fired is Hugh Freeze at Auburn in 2+ seasons. His Tigers 15-19 overall, 6-16 in the SEC, 1-12 against ranked opponents. Luka Doncic, 29 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. The Lakers pushed their win streak to 3, 130-120 over the Heat. And yes, it is opening morning for college basketball, and we've got a good one in South Carolina. Queens has rallied to lead now at Winthrop, 69-67. With 7 minutes left in regulation.
Queens get the money. That's what Mobb Deep says.
Don't forget, once they're done, same court, St. Bonaventure and Bradley.
Don't you forget it.
Don't
Percy
forget,
Hawkins.
everybody. Don't forget it. Thank you, Bogues. Eileen is in Palm Desert, California. Big Dodger fan. Eileen, you are happy for your Dodgers and you feel no shred of empathy or sympathy for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, I don't know if I say that. I think they should be really happy and proud of themselves because they did it. They were there.
Don't insult them. Don't insult them this way, Eileen. Extra innings, Game 7. You can't say we were happy to be there. It wasn't about the friends we made along the way.
No. I mean, they should be happy that they made it. I mean, they shouldn't be happy. I mean, but here the thing is, the Dodgers have been there, and that last game, Miggy Rojas. I've listened to his interview like 2 or 3 times. They knew, they pushed. I mean, they fought hard and they weren't going to let it go. And I thought that we were going to lose it, but we didn't. Toronto will have more experience next time. I know that, and I do empathize, but they have more experience next time, and they'll probably get there next year. But the Dodgers, forget about the money. They know what it takes, and Will Smith, Max Muncy.
Yeah.
When they're going,
Eileen, I'm sorry. I got to put you on hold for a second. I don't believe you with that was a cursory. Oh, the Blue Jays will be back. Eileen doesn't think that. She didn't sell me on that. That was like a throwaway line. They'll be back next year.
I don't get that sense at all. She said 3 times that she thinks Toronto's going to be back.
I think that she's just trying to be nice now. Do you think Toronto's going to be back next year? You don't think anybody's going to be back ever.
Nobody does, but I don't know. Brian Kenny at least had the windows open.
Because they paid Vlad Guerrero Jr. Eileen, thank you so much for calling in. Excited Dodger fan. How about this one from Darren Ravel Pro? We're talking about buying a title or not buying a title. In the last 10 years, only one World Series champion has started the season outside the top 10 in payroll. That was the 2021 Atlanta Braves. Does that change your mind at all about whether or not you can buy a title?
Well, I mean, obviously you can't be the Pirates, but no, I feel like, so with the Astros, like, do you consider them buying a title?
Well, they had to get historically bad to then draft guys to pay them. But they did pay those guys. They didn't sell them off like the Pittsburgh Pirates who draft well and then sell everyone off.
But you can't, it's not as easy where you can just outspend everybody. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think the Mets are going to try that at a certain point. The Dodgers are always going to be the big boys on the free agency market. I also think it helps, like, people want to go to L.A. If the money's even, they're going to pick the Dodgers. And I think Shohei's psyched that he's a Dodger, not an Angel. Obviously.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. We say a big thank you to E.J. Stewart, to Manny Rodriguez, to Andrew Bogish, Andrew Kaplan, the Weedos, the Coffee Drinkers, to Brian Kenny. Enjoy Cowboys Cardinals tonight, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.